Black Alpha Network. Power to the people.
Yes, indeed. Brother Beatzilla and my brother Afro Elite. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I can hear you loud and clear, brother.
Me too, loud and clear. Everything's good.
Appreciate y'all, brothers, man. You already know how it is. Let's go ahead and walk them down. Let's go ahead and put it down. Let's go ahead and speak that real truth to power. Everybody rolling in, man. We wish y'all could share this room, but I want to tell everybody, be safe, be strong, stay focused. We're going to end this year with a bang, the same way we started it, the same way we're going to start next year. So I just want to break everything down as people file on in and people roll on through. But I just want to thank everybody who's been a part of this Black Grassroots movement. Everybody is. I don't care if you got 5 followers, 5,000, 25,000. Much love and respect to everybody out there. You brothers can go ahead and take the stage and, just tell everybody, your, opening statements, man, because I just want to get to it, brother. I just want to work. I just want to put it down and go out with a bang. You guys can take the floor, either one of y'all.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. Man, this right here is Beatzilla PDX official. And again, like my brother said, thank y'all for everything that y'all been doing all this year. From what I have been able to see, what I've been able to be a part of, right here, me and my brother, Black Alpha Network, doing the Certified Truth Spaces. To my brother Afro Elite, to who you already know was holding spaces heavy earlier this year. And now we are here wrapping up this year, moving into a new, even more important phase of things. So I'm excited to wrap this year up and to get to the next year. And just like my brother Afro Elite alluded to on his broadcast yesterday, understanding some of the things that we are leaving behind in 2022 and things that cannot come forth in 2023. So yeah, let's get this rolling, family. And man, we here.
I want to say, first off, this was Black Alpha's idea. He hit me up for it. So thank everybody. Salute to him for having this idea. This was a pretty good idea. I feel like this was well needed because a lot has gone on this year. There's a lot that we've been through. There's a lot that we've learned. There's a lot that I've learned. And there's a lot that needs to be discussed so we can move better next year. One thing I will say is, despite all of the nonsense that's happened this year is definitely a W. This year is definitely a W for the movement, for the sake of Black empowerment, for the defeat of white supremacy, all of that. So thank you.
Family, I got to say this to everybody. I was always raised that, you start off a new venture, you start off something new with who you came with. And I came into this right here with these brothers, as well as a few other brothers. This time a year ago, I was solo dolo. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of, part of the new Black media, part of the Black Grassroots, but I was kind of doing my own thing. I didn't really communicate with too many people outside of Twitter. Then we started to network and started to deal with other folks. And these brothers right here, as well as, Kid Gravity, our brother Torian Reigns, these were people we all just kind of got together. Nobody sat down and had a meeting. Nobody was like, hey, we're going to all team up. It was none of that. It was just us focusing on the issues, having like-minded, mentalities, and just kind of focusing. It's like, yo, let's build. So we just started building. And anybody who's familiar with us on YouTube, you'll see that we have a lot of content where we have a lot of the same followers, we have a lot of the same subscribers, and we have done mashups, bosses tables amongst us all, just, keeping things fresh and keeping things real. So as I said, I was raised to always start something new with who you came with. You bang with who you came with. That's how I was raised. And these two brothers right here, as the year was ending, these were the top two people. I was like, yo, I got to have my brothers right here. I wouldn't even feel right now if I went out without this Twitter space, without dealing with my brothers, as well as everybody here, because I recognize all the faces. So I just want everybody to know we a family tree, and I want to go down and break down the year. And because I know a lot of people DM us, and they tell us, hey man, we listen to y'all, we hear what y'all say. So I know people want to hear what we think, and just starting anew, starting fresh, the same way we came out. So I just want to get to it, man. I want to go to work. I want everybody to know that it's always love right here on this side, and we are one big family tree. We see that all the time, but we live it. So let's just go to work and break it down. Beatzilla, and then I'll pass it to you, my brother Afro Lee. I see my brother Eastside is in here too. Salute to you, family. I want to ask you guys, what was the main thing that happened this year in terms of progress that you notice about us in this era? Because this is, by the way, everybody, this is the year of FBA. We're going to make that clear. FBA has trended all year round. Okay, this is why people pop up out the blue. They call from different countries. They're always trying to troll us. It's because they see us. They see what we're doing. And our progress is not just countrywide, it's worldwide. So this has been the year of FBA. And next year is going to be even stronger. So I want to ask my two brothers right here, what is the main things you've seen in terms of progress and the jumps and the gains that we have made in 2022? To you, Zilla, and then to our brother Afro.
Well, for one, I can start with saying coming into this year with intent and purpose. Coming into the year, like I said on our last space Tuesday, you know, I was thinking this time last year, we're going to go into 2022 with the thought of Black First Rise 2022. And so on, it just built and built and built. That energy, whether even people know it or not, once you put energy out in the wind, it has to go out somewhere. So, you know, it took hold on folk and really started manifesting itself in individuals. So it's not just, it proved that the code being the leader, because it wasn't just one voice. Like the world got bombarded with foundational Black American excellence. So that's the one thing I see as a major takeaway from 2022. The other thing, you know, would be more even on a personal level, just watching the people's growth around me, watching Afro Elite's channel grow, watching his following grow, watching your following grow, watching Tori and Rain hit 50,000. And all of this while speaking in a space that typically is not a popular space to speak in. So that also being part, making pro-Black talk and Black empowerment conversations popular, that is a new thing altogether. Thirdly, the most important thing that we, especially all three of us on the stage, and especially, you know, all the voices in the big three, what we did this year, all of y'all in this space, we literally made being a descendant of a slave one of the most coveted, important beings on the face of planet Earth in a year. Now, so much so that everybody's trying to figure out how to weave their way in to our family lineage. They're trying to figure out how to graft in branches on our tree. So, yeah, I can't say, this is like my brother Black Alpha always says, this is a totally perfect time to be in. This is the era that our ancestors was looking for. And we're here to enjoy it, and we need to respect it and pay homage in everything that we do to our ancestors that was not around or able to even see this moment. We move for them. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I can take away from this year, my brother.
It's all on you, my brother Afro.
Okay, well, B Zilla broke it down pretty well. I'm gonna say this. I feel like the best thing, the thing that we've learned, is definitely the progress that we have made as far as slavery reparations. I feel like in all of my life, I feel like with this year specifically, this has been the most progressive year as far as us obtaining reparations I have literally ever been through in my entire life. We went from them earlier. Now, we've been making a push for years now, don't get me wrong, but we went from earlier this year, well, who's going to get reparations? I remember in Twitter Spaces, they made the argument, oh, well, you know, slaves, they didn't want to build they didn't want to build America. They were forced to. So y'all don't deserve reparations because y'all were made to build it. As terrible and piss poor of an argument that was, that's the arguments that they were making earlier this year. We've changed that so much to where now everybody is hiding their lineage. We changed it to being all like, oh, yeah, y'all descendants of slaves. Y'all were forced to be here. Y'all were forced to be all of this stuff. And it changed in the course of 12 calendar months, less than, to be honest. It changed from the course of that much time
to where we ask, where are your people from? They like, well, my people are from Texas. Are you sure? Where's your family from? Dallas. My family is from Dallas, Texas. Like, no, we can hear your accent. This is the power that we've been doing by staying firm and consistent. We have a historical reparations, one of a kind, never done before. Went off with an incredible success rate. So much so that we got California talking about giving $200,000 to each descendant of slave. Now, of course, we know we got to read the fine print. We got to, make sure that that's legit. But they were never, ever, ever talking numbers before. They would say
reparations is student loan debt relief, and they were saying that reparations is a housing grant, and they were saying that reparations is Popeye's chicken sandwiches, and reparations is a big hug from white folks. They were saying reparations was everything but cutting the check. Now they all like, hey, well, I guess they're not giving it up, so let's I guess we got to talk about the money now. So within 12 months, we've made them say reparations is student loans, so now reparations is $200,000 in cash. So that's one of the biggest things that I think we've done as a group, as a collective, to push the needle forward.
Yo, man, I remember a time when, like you were saying, brother, when reparations was something no one even talked about. It was like a foregone conclusion that it wasn't going to happen. And the fact that we've got to the point where they're talking numbers right now, that shows you that we are genuinely unstoppable. And like y'all was saying, people trying to weave themselves in now. Everybody, a group just came out, a week or so ago and said how they need reparations. I wonder if half these other groups could even spell reparations. But now I'm noticing that everybody wants to get in on reparations. That is all because of Black Grassroots. And we cannot stress it enough. It's because of us. If the Black Grassroots was not in the United States of America, there would be none of this. If the Boule and the mainstream and the Democrats and the Vote Blue, no matter who crowd was running things, it'd be the same old song. So we're all participating and partaking in something that's changing the whole world. And it's all us right here. That's why I tell people it's not just the content creators, it's also people right here on Twitter, because that's where a lot of the news comes from. It be timelines. That's why you got to follow and stay productive with who you're around. So I've been following and eyeing and analyzing a lot of people, and that's where a lot of the good information comes in. As we said, we always trade notes and break things down in a proper fashion. So I want everybody to know it's all about us. The Black Grassroots is where it is at. If you want to go there, you want to talk about who's like the freshest, who's the strongest, who's the most powerful, it's us. It's us, nobody else, nobody compares. You got to understand, a small group of us is literally outclassing whole nations. We're outclassing whole countries. This is what we're doing. This is how strong we are right now. And it's all based on the energy that we putting out here in these streets. So it's time, in my mind, and y'all hear me say it all the time, we need to be very fucking arrogant. Be very, very arrogant. Pop your collar, celebrate, because you can walk out your house right now, you're going to have a whole world of haters. So if everybody gonna hate, then you need to celebrate. So it's on us to shine. And if you win, act like a winner. Don't walk with your head down, walk with your head up and stomp through everybody and just let them know what time it is. That's the type of mantra that we got to be on. That's the type of mantra that we've been on. And I cannot wait until 2023 because we're gonna bring it even further. I see my brother Eastside's right here. Go ahead, family.
Hey, if I may, first off, I'd like to say peace to the chat, peace to the fam, our FBA family. What I can say I took from this year, man, we've been getting a lot of these indictments going and some solid convictions, for what it's worth in terms of these race soldiers. Some stuff that hasn't really been happening like it should. They always been able to do some mayo splaining, to worm their way up out of a conviction and all that. But, I got my mentor here I was telling y'all about. If it's okay if I put him on the stage for a hot second, just want to make sure I got y'all permission.
Always family. You most family, brother. Go ahead.
Okay, here you go, Commander.
Okay.
Introduce yourself.
Black Power family. Minister Prince Najee Muhammad, Supreme Commander of the New Black Liberation Militia, and also the General Prime Minister of the New Black Panther Party. As my mentor and my revolutionary father, Dr. Khaled Muhammad, only thing this white supremacist system respects, only thing these people respect, themselves. Like I said, when I was in Louisville, Kentucky, when Grandmaster J myself led one of the largest armed contingents they have not seen in 60 years. One thing I said there, I said, we at war with white supremacists, and we at war with this no good cracker. But also, we not only at war with the cracker, we at war with the black cracker, the jiggy-boo Negro, blue-eyed niggas with blonde hair and black skin, as my mentor used to say. The only thing the system respects is an eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth, a head for a head, and a life for a damn life. The only thing it respects is bleeding, killing, dying, war, bloodshed, and revolution. And the divine wrath is on this country called America. As he used to say, the hell to North America. And the spirit of the destroyer and the wrath of the forces of nature is taking this country out like a senior cancer. That's all I have to say today. Take heed and go from there. Black power.
Black power, brother, and salute to you, Al Cabulon, brother.
Appreciate that. Much respect, family. That's what we need, man. We got to have that type of energy. We got to stay on that type of time, and we got to take those type of lessons forward. I appreciate that right there, Eastside. Did you have anything you want to add on to, my brother Eastside?
You know, this man took me on our first maneuver down there in Kentucky, you know, for the Breonna Taylor murder. You know, and if we hadn't went down there, they wouldn't even made no noise in terms of trying to get these race soldiers, you know, any type of arrest or anything like that. Then with their whole Ahmaud Arbery thing, you know, if we hadn't pulled up down there in Brunswick, Georgia,
Straight to their house.
Yeah, straight to their house. Those, you know, those white supremacists never would have got arrested. You know, and I'm saying that to say this. I understand when there are others that want to take the more passive route, but we can't always take that option. You know, sometimes we really got to get down to the nitty-gritty, get down, you know, in that battlefield, get in the trenches. If we say we about that, we got to be about that, but not just on our own people. I'll land there for now.
Peace and respect, brother. Peace and respect. Peace and respect all the way live. Hey, I want to ask this question to y'all too, man, Afro and Zilla. Where you guys are at, I know right here, I know I'm in the South, you guys are in the West Coast and in the Midwest. What do y'all see out there in terms of like progress? Have y'all been seeing it like with your own eyes in terms of your city, your state, your region? Have y'all been seeing that changing? Because that's one of the best things that we've had right here is that we've all been able to actually speak on what's going on where we are at. So people from one side of the country can hear what other people are doing out there and see things moving. Me personally, I've seen things changing in the South. I see a lot of that old church folk way that don't really hold weight no more. And it's not just because the old church folks have been like dismissed. A lot of them are starting to kind of question, you know, the old ways that they had. Like they're starting to question the Democratic Party. A lot of that new black grassroots energy is starting to seep onto them. I'm seeing that down here in the South. What's it like for you out there in Chicago, Afro, and then you in Portland, my brother Beatzilla?
Well, in Chicago, surprisingly, I'm seeing, as far as politically speaking, I'm seeing more people have like a black first ideology. I'm seeing people talk about as far as black people and things specifically done for us. I'm starting to see more people talk about we need specific things done for us. We were always told that you can't get anything as a black person unless everybody else gets it. Everybody has to get it in order for you to get it, because that's just the way politics work. That's what they told us. And then we see, especially this year with Ukraine and all that, we see that that's not really the way politics works. So I'm starting to see a lot of people, especially a lot of younger people, talk about how we as black Americans, what they call black Americans, FBA, all of that, we need our own specific things. We don't need to share. We don't need any people of color stuff. Now, we do got a lot of the people of color people here, but we're seeing less of them, and we're seeing more people demand more specific things for black Americans. So that is one progressive thing that I have seen personally. I've personally heard that with my own ears, not just seen it on a video, literally in a conversation.
Well, for me, oh man, I hate to say it, but we're more like in Boule land here. So it's a bunch of links, AKAs and Deltas, the church Negro crowd, plus the reformed snitch crowd. We have a lot of them. They now, for those of you who do not have a lot of the reformed snitch crowd, what I mean by that is these are the people who were involved in like street culture, gang culture, whatnot. And they may have not necessarily been cut from that cloth. So when they got involved, they started turning out like young thugs, co-defendants. So these people start like, oh, I'm changing my ways. And, you know, then they start getting into these programs that are ran by the police. And, you know, we have a lot of that out here. So those, and then they start linking up with the church crowd. So you have a preacher every time there's like some gun play going on out here. Then you get the resident honorary DA go out there and speak for the black community, along with some old preacher that has no connection to the streets at all. And that's pretty much what we see out here. So we still have this is a very heavy boule gate kept area because we're such a small number. So they make sure that our issues are not heard by way of keeping these so-called ecumenical people, which by ecumenical, that means the preachers, by keeping that whole preacher crowd, which, by the way, the churches are still dying, but they still do the whole let's go to speak to the preacher thing when anything happens violent. So they can blame, and mind you, we're only like 3% of the state. So all of this white on white violence that goes on out here all gets put on black folks. And these boot-licking shines out here that call themselves black leaders, these boule biscuit eaters, all they do is help aid the dominant society and making all violence black. So yeah, we ain't changing out here. There's a few of us that's screaming, and you know, outside of us, you know, prime example, Andy Ngo and Elon Musk are able to take shots at us and ain't nobody saying shit. Now, Black Lives Matter then came and went, all of a sudden, hands up, don't shoot is all of a sudden the target. Miss me. So that's what's going on in this city.
Man, brother, hey, you know, the crazy thing about it is, family, is that once things start moving, you start to see like that domino effect take place. And I have been seeing that. And it's just funny though, because every so often it'll skip a place. It'll skip a place here or there. But then, you know, a lot of times it comes full circle. Another question I got for y'all brothers, and really, man, it ain't just questions, man, just statements, and y'all can elaborate on even further, man, because y'all know how we do. We just chopping it up. In terms of the new black media, because a couple months ago, there was this whole thing about the new black media is bad and the new black media needs to, you know, be nice and celebrate folks who ain't really out here doing nothing. In terms of the new black media, family, have y'all been seeing the effect? Because I've always watched the new black media going back years, but I've seen it grow to where it used to be 1 or 2 people I would watch, you know, the big 3 or whatever. But now on any given night, I can sit back and watch several different people and get information from them. Have y'all been seeing the way that the new black media has been getting to the forefront of everything? I mean, Roland Martin addresses it every show, every single show he addresses it. The Democratic Party speaks about it, whether they talk about it in ambiguous terms or in the abstract. Either way, they talking about the new black media. So y'all brothers being a part of the new black media, have you seen the way that, you know, that firestorm has just been taking over the country? And what are some of the things that you guys enjoy the most about it? Because I know on Sunday nights, most people are locked in. There used to be a time on Sunday night, everybody's watching ABC, NBC, CNN, same old played out stuff. Sunday nights, people watching the big 3, you know what I'm saying? And then you follow for the rest of the week. People start tuning in to us, you know, so it goes one by one by one. It's people in the new black media, people who support the new black media. What are some of the things that you guys are seeing? And just how y'all feel about that takeover? Because I call it the new black media takeover, and we're a part of it. How do y'all feel about the way we taking over things and the way it's been knocking the black mainstream out of play? I send that to you, Afro, because I know just yesterday you had a show, and I told you, man, I DM'd you. It was fire, straight pure fire, brother. One of your best shows, man. I was locked all the way in. How do you feel about the new black media takeover, my brother?
First off, shameless plug. Thank you very much. If you guys haven't seen that, y'all can click the link in my bio, and then y'all can check that out. I appreciate that. I want to say the takeover is, first off, so you know, the broadcast that you did with Marcel is still sitting on my TV. It is still sitting on my TV right now. I'm looking at it right now. Okay. So I watch y'all stuff mostly on the TV though. But I will say, I feel like this takeover is so necessary, is so important, not just because we are saying stuff that's on our mind, but if you actually study the code of Neely Fuller, you have to change the way you think first before you change the way you speak, and then that changes the way you act. In order for us to actually evolve, in order for us to actually progress and grow and become the people that we're supposed to become, we have to first change our mindsets. We have to change the people we're listening to. Like Professor Black Truth says, it's important, it matters who you get your information from. We have to change all of that stuff. There's so many people, not just the big three, but there's so many other channels that I'm subscribed to. I'm backed up. I'm so backed up. I have to listen to y'all when I'm in the shower. I have to listen to y'all when I'm cooking dinner. I gotta listen because it's so backed up, and y'all so consistent with it that if I miss one episode, if I miss one broadcast, then I'm gonna be behind. So I gotta stay up on everybody's stuff. You know, so that's some of the great things, and that's really helped to progress my mindset, to progress the way I see things. When I see things better, I speak things better. I speak things better. I move better. I move more intelligently. I move more precise. I move more effectively. And my life, as a result of all of those things, my life becomes better. My life is of higher quality now at the, what is today, December 30th, 2022, than it was at December 30th, 2021. So I sincerely want to thank everybody in the New Black Media for all of what they have done, all of what they continue to do. You know, so that's one thing I have to say. And it's so progressive, so much so that really what they call the mainstream media, they're trailing behind the black media. The black media is cutting edge. There's a lot of people, oh, y'all just report on what the news already said. No, not necessarily. We do deep dive analysis of what people miss. We bring up receipts and we bring up statistics and we bring up studies and we put all of those things into the equation to show you what the real problem is. And all of that stuff is what the media miss because they like to tell the news at a specific angle to paint either the liberals as the good guys or the Republicans as the good guys. We give it straight down the middle, straight, no chaser. And that's what the people love. That's what the people need. And that's what really helps the people. And it's personally, in my personal life, it's helped me. So I want to thank everybody for all of what you guys are doing. And I want to thank everybody who's listening, who liked, who subscribed, who shared, who retweets and all of that stuff. Because without you guys, there would be no platform. You know what I'm saying? So just so y'all know, just because y'all might not have a YouTube channel or a platform or anything, I don't want you guys to feel as if your work and your participation is any less important. And I pass the mic there.
And man, I completely concur with that, my brother. My take on it, seeing how the New Black Media has made such an impact. You know, I guess for me it goes years back. But just to keep it short in today's context, this year, what we have seen is we've seen, of course, in April, New Black Media Appreciation Month, which is representing a couple of years of actually being able to witness a unified banner of voices. And so what we've always had come at us as a people are unified opponents. We've never had a situation where all of our strongest voices were like literally under one banner and then subscribing to one code. That literally morphed into what you see today. And it has taken hold in so much so that now you have an established standard. And so with that being said, with the established standard at hand, we can now do things that I am looking at in 2023 as hashtag secure the gate. Because the one thing that we have been able to do is control the narrative, control the conversation, and control how we are represented. Because see, certain people that might just think that this is a fly-by-night type of situation, it is not. All of these voices that are within the new black media in their own rights have lived their examples to put them at a position to be able to speak intelligent, legibly, and tactfully in front of people to get things done, get people motivated and mobilized to actually be about a black agenda. So I can shout out to the new black media, also our counterparts over there, the brother Ben X and the brother King Cam, who held a great space today, who did a space about what does black leadership look like. For those who don't know, those are also people who have been carrying the new black media banner for a few years, if people don't know, but also making sure that when you hear Farrakhan speak of the activists over here, oh, you best believe that means new black media. Do not kid yourselves. So I see this as a very great thing, especially when people like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan can see that there is a growing unit and effort and system of people that are coming forth, speaking this real truth to power and really enacting it. And with the rally for reparations that happened back in November 5th, it was able to show the world camaraderie on a whole nother level. So with what the new black media has been able to accomplish within 2022, I would have to ask, has there been anything that has been that doesn't have the powers that be or a big financial backing that can accomplish so many things? Family, also, before I close this little statement, keep in mind, new black media is worth over $100 million because it took $200 million to combat what new black media has to say. Cut the check. Back to you, my brother.
Man, I got to say this as well, brother. I sat back and watched everybody lightweight become, stars in the black activist world and the black grassroots. When we went to the rally, I was getting stopped. Afro was getting stopped. Brother Torian Reigns, everybody there was getting stopped. It was a lot of love, but that just shows you like the influence and it shows you where we are in terms of everything. So yeah, I'm with y'all, man. The black grassroots and the new black media, that shit go hand in hand, side by side, and we're moving. And let me say this as well. We don't have to diss nobody. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to put other people's names in our spaces. We don't have to put other people's names on our content. We just go out there and just really report and do the real work, opposed to actually trying to gloat, trying to be celebrated. We ain't inflating nothing. We're keeping everything thorough, and we letting the people decide, whether they want to rock with us or not, because you got a lot of people out there. If it wasn't for clout chasing, they wouldn't exist. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for clout chasing, they wouldn't exist. And a lot of those people, they came in 2022 and they're not going to make it to 2023. So that's the big difference between us and a lot of these other groups out here or whatever they are. We out here really, really representing the people, standing with the people and not trying to be above the people. And I think that's what separates everybody. And there's a little taste of everything. Somebody was telling me in Afro, man, at the rally, she was like, a lady was telling us, she said, Afro's her good side and I'm her bad side. And when you put it together and it makes up one whole person, man. So we got a good laugh out of that. And I like that. That's what it is. You want some philosophy? Good. You want some energy? Good. You want the news breaking? Whatever it is, you got it right here when you deal with us. As we say always to the big three as well. But that's just the difference between, when you're out here really putting it in and really putting it down. And the research is strong. And I'm going to say this. How many stories has the new black media broke? I mean, complete stories that the mainstream would never touch. The new black media will break these stories. There's a story that happened and we all aware of it. And they brushed this out of the news, the Buffalo Massacre. And that's something I want to talk about because the Buffalo Massacre, that went away in like a month. They quit talking about it. They didn't want to speak on it no more. But at the end of the day, the black grassroots kept it going. And how many times you hear about a race soldier that's, harming a little kid that walked through their yard or something, and then we're the ones out here getting them charges pressed on them. So there's a lot of power, man. There's a lot of power in the new black media, and I feel like the new black media should always be celebrated, whether I'm a part of it or not. It doesn't matter. It's something that's noble, something that's dignified, and it's always got to get that salute, especially from my side, man, because I feel like the reparations movement is right here. You know what I'm saying? I think it started and it gained momentum right here in this space, and then we took it further and we start pushing it. So salute to everybody in the new black media as well. Another thing I want to ask you, brothers, is have y'all been seeing how we've been deleting and canceling these tethers out here? Because let's be real, this year started off with tether group A and tether group B and tether group C, and all these different tethers have been coming out. And I feel like in the year 2022, we taken the tethers and we ran them completely out the pan. It's not as sweet as it is, as it used to be, shall I say, back in the day. Right now, they got to deal with that real fire. Have y'all been seeing the way we've been handling tethers out here? I'll send that to you, Afro. What do you feel about the damage that we done did to a lot of these tethers? Because it used to be a time where they was taking our whole plate. Now they can't even get a crumb off that plate. You feel where I'm coming from, family?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like there needs to be in 2023, there's probably going to have to be some tether therapy, because we've been giving these niggas trauma. These niggas have been traumatized. I remember on my first big thing, I want to say this. I don't like to brag, but sometimes I feel like I have to. I've been in spaces just straight up all year long, pretty much whooping niggas' ass, especially tethers. There's this one tether who I beat her. Intellectually speaking, I don't want nobody to think you threatened her. No, intellectually speaking, beat her so bad. She goes on her page and then starts saying that I was threatening her, and then sent me a cease and desist because I ruined her business, because I made her brand look bad. I swear to God, she sent me that in the DMs. She said that I made her business look bad by what I was saying to her on Twitter Spaces. And that I should, because I record my Twitter Spaces and put it on YouTube, and that I have to delete that space on YouTube. I have to delete that space, make a public apology, and promise never to mess with her again. Y'all think I did any of that shit? Y'all think I did any of that shit? That stuff is still up on YouTube. All I did was block her. I'm like, yeah, you're not going to be doing this. I just blocked her. Cease and desist. I don't give a, man. No. No, hell no. I'm telling you, it's been so bad that they go in to get lawyers on us. That's how bad it is. They send up there talking to the authorities. They all like, listen, you don't understand. They beat us so bad. They called us an African booty scratcher. Like, I'm telling you, I think that they need some therapy. I don't even want to do it to them. I don't want to do it to them. But if they was just on code, we wouldn't have to. We wouldn't have to, but you crossed my path. You wasn't on code. I had to put you in check. For all of the businesses, the tether businesses that I've ruined, all I can say is good riddance to you. Take your business back to your country and see how it gets popping over there. But you come over here, you're going to show respect or you're going to bounce. I'm literally telling you, I've traumatized folks over here. These tethers are shaking in their boots. They can't wait to get their get back, but they will never happen. That will never happen. I don't want to speak too long with that. I'll pass the mic.
I gotta say, we've seen a lot of tethers. And one of the groups of tethers that I often address and that goes unchecked, and it's for good reason, are the white women tethers. Because I address white women tethers because white women usher in feminism. Feminism in itself is white supremacy and representing white supremacy. So every time you have black women believing that they have a camaraderie with white women, that legitimately is the camaraderie with white supremacy. So that's one way of tethering in. Unfortunately, that might even consist of our own women. With that being said, we also had individuals that even came around us. I still get inbox invites to certain funny hairline groups. Often, as much as I've tried to block that out of my inbox, for some reason, it's still able to come through. So I see all the damage that has been done because, see, for me and Black Alpha, I believe we only dealt with this particular group of tethers one time. And they had one shot at trying us, and it worked out miserably. And then they've been trolling on Twitter ever since. So what happens is these people come around us because they automatically look down on us. And see, we're not in the phase. I don't have that inner self-hate in me. I have my ancestors in me, and with the blood of these Maroons, I don't really play with. So understand. Like I tell y'all often, for those who watch my broadcast and listen to these spaces, my grandma didn't let white folks in the house. So I grew up with that type of understanding. I know what it looked like when I see a group of Black folks looking down on us that looks like they are looking or seeking acceptance from that same group of folks that my grandmother had good sense enough not to ever let in her house. So I look at all of them folks as a damn detriment. And I'm glad that they've been catching hell because I've been knowing how they get down for about 20 plus years. It's just now that this new technology has allowed a lot of these Africans to express to us with their own verbal paralysis and tell us what they feel about us. Because for years, all we had was the Pan-African thing, but it was one-sided. So all we had was our people, that's us, saying, hey, man, we need to love one another. We need to look out for one another. We got to look out for these Africans over here. Boy, them Africans came over here and showed us they ass and say, here, kiss it. I'm going over here to Zaddy. And so 2022 has been the full exposure year of all of that agenda. And it really showed when California started moving for their reparations claim. Once that California reparations claim started happening, everything started coming out the woodwork. You even seen Uncle Luke come to Twitter Spaces. Thanks, Uncle Luke, because without your silly ass, we would have never known about this Caribbean CARICOM sitting right up in our Black Caucus. Thanks, because we need to dismantle all of these tethers. So thanks to you and Steven. Clap it up, hammies. Oh, Nikki Barnes, too. Y'all niggas that are foundational Black Americans, stay away from them folks because they ain't nothing but trouble and agents. So, just listen to the good voices of New Black Media. Listen to the good, pure hearts and intentional people of the grassroots and cut them tethers and all them fakers out. 2023, we need to elevate, raise the water, and drown the weak. Back to you, brother.
Hey, did y'all see Meek Mills, man? Tell me one of y'all seen that whole Meek Mill situation.
No, I just heard a little bit about it.
Oh man, I posted it, family. A couple other people. I think Tariq put it up too. Man, he went over there trying to be cool with them damn tellers and Pan-Africanism, brother, and they literally had him jumping over gates to get out. I ain't lying, family. Check it out, family. Yes, indeed. They had him jumping over gates trying to get out. I said earlier today, I said, he found out something we knew for a long time. We've been doing it for a long time. You know what I'm saying? They better start listening to us, man. They better start listening. We ain't just talking to talk. So yeah, brother, if you get an opportunity, check it out. It's everything that we say about Pan-Africanism and the fake bond and the diaspora. It's all that encapsulated in one scenario, one situation, brother. You got to check it out.
My goodness, brother, that right there is absolutely hilarious. And you know what, though? I'm glad because sometimes I understand due to our condition in this country, one of the hardest things that has been for our community to get through its thick skulls is listening to people of your own house. Trust us. We got your best interests at heart. I mean, test our metal, man. If we gonna go out there and put you in harm's way, then say it's been so. But if we ain't put you out there like that, none of us in the voices of new black media, whether it be the big three or this tier of us or others, family, let us know if we steered you in the wrong direction. Now, and you have to prove it with a receipt. If not, we've been able to prove the harm that people have been trying to do to our communities. Not only that, the undermining that they've been trying to bring to us. So we've experienced it and we've called it out between myself, Black Alpha, Afro Elite, and oh, by the way, Kid Gravity, who, by the way, if you didn't know, is Jamaican. So that means that you could be black first and not be foundational Black American. So don't get caught up listening to people who don't really know what the hell they're talking about on chat lines, because here's the problem. You can get convinced that people in a chat line are something like what's going on here. This is called progressive spaces. We are having progressive conversations with intent. This isn't the Wendy Williams show. So I need, like a lot of people, y'all need to understand the difference. And we're moving into that phase to where 2023, we are raising the water. And the water, what I mean is the conversation where y'all want to be at. Y'all say you want intellectual conversations. Stop going into troll spaces, giving them the juice. Because this water will elevate. And the more that you stay in that little low vibrational place, as the water raises, that the roof is covered. Where are you now sitting? Completely submerged in filth. So I just need y'all to understand how you need to come into 2023. Come in with the mind state of empowerment. Leave that bullshit behind in this year. You got about, 24 more hours of it. So clap it up my hammies, get it in, family, because you need to get over this, and let's get about foundational Black American empowerment business in 2023.
Family, hey, you hit the nail on the head, brother. I was just gonna say that I'm aware that there's a beef kind of space thing going on or whatever. That's one thing, man, we don't get into, man, with all that nonsense, family. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna focus, especially at the end of the year. At the end of the year, man, it's time for real. I was sitting here watching a little segment about reparations the other night, and bro, it had me going, because I was like, you know what? This is real. Like, we on the front line of this, man. There's no time for play. There's no time for tethers. There's no time for the nonsense. It's time to get to it, because nobody's going to remember half of these people. You know, I was sitting back and looking at a picture. It was at the rally. It was me, Afro, and then Torian Reigns and Dewan B. And I was sitting there looking at this, man, and somebody had said, I think it was in Afro, I think you had posted it, man. And somebody said, it's going to be crazy to look back on this picture, 15, 20 years from now. That's what's going to be remembered. Like, the people out here like us putting in the work. These little clowns, these little decoys, these little parasites out here running their mouth, man, anybody going to remember them 2 months from now. You know what I'm saying? It's all about what we're doing and pushing forward as a line right now. So we staying true to what we speaking, and we staying true to everything. Like you said, what'd you say, Brother Zilla? Raising the water. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these folks can't swim. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you all the way live on that one. Hey, but Brother Afro, did you see the Meek Mill situation?
I did see that. I left because I got a call, and then afterwards my sound was like super low, and I couldn't really fix it, so I had to leave. But yeah, I did see that. Somebody sent that to me on Instagram, which is Afro Elite on Instagram. Shameless plug. But yeah, somebody sent that to me, and I asked. I was like, why? Like, what did he do to deserve that? I guess. And they was like, I don't know. They just did it. I'm all like, and y'all see why we say there's a whole bunch of vitriol and all that stuff going over there? Because when have you ever seen African artists, African performers, and side note, Akon, they're not the best, but an African performer come over to America and get jumped by Black Americans? We don't just be jumping them. They have this, and not all, don't get me wrong, not all, but a lot of them have this stab each other in the back, get it by any means necessary, treacherous mindset. And that's the mindset of the tethers. They just jumped this man for no reason. And to be totally honest, based off of what I have seen of Meek Mill does a lot of donating. Meek Mill does a lot of work for people in the community. You know what I'm saying? And these people fumbled the bag. Because let's say y'all jumped Meek Mill. I think they stole his phone or whatnot. let's say he got the newest iPhone. Let's say his phone is like $2,000, brand new, all of the stuff. Y'all got $2,000 from him. Meek Mill will never go back there again. Meek Mill will never go back there. Y'all just fumbled the bag for $2,000 for a cell phone. That's not going to be worth $2,000 next year. But Meek Mill could have did some investing. He could have invested in some business. He could have helped out with a project over there. He could have really bought a lot of the people in that country up. But they got this, I got to get it right now. I'm impatient. I want to stab you in the back right now instead of building with you, instead of working with you, instead of being on code. And they fumbled the bag. So, okay, they got his phone. He can turn his phone off, so y'all know. There's GPS on the phone, too. If he wanted it back, he could get it back, but I'm sure it don't matter to him like that. But y'all took his phone and y'all fumbled the bag. And this is why we say we got to separate ourselves from the tethers, because the tethers will literally be the cancer in the community if we allow that to happen, if we allow them to be. This is why we got to get rid of them, that exact reason. And so y'all know, is this not divisive? What they did to Meek Mill, is that not being, quote, divisive? Is that not xenophobia? Then they call us xenophobic. Is what they did to Meek Mill. They attacked him physically. Now, is that not xenophobic? When we come over, when we call them tethers, we get called xenophobic. They attacked the whole Black American artist for no reason. I think that's kind of xenophobic, if you ask me. That's what I think. And with that, I'll pass the mic.
I ain't seen Dr. Umar say nothing about that, man. I ain't seen Dr. Umar say nothing about that situation. I ain't seen Dr. Umar say nothing about that $55 billion that's going on over there. But he has been on an anti-FBA reparations tour. So I believe in 2022, a lot of the, the funny style people done come to light, and we done put a lot of spotlights on people who've been real funny. Now, go ahead, Zilla, listen on you.
Hey, wait. Hold on. Where's Dr. Umar from?
I heard he's from Cuba. That's what I heard. That's word on the street.
But what city does he represent?
He represents Philadelphia. Oh, I see where you're going with the boy. You done got me. I see Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
You got it, brother. That's all I want to say. You got it, brother.
Okay, so let me frame this for the people. We talking about Dr. Umar, who has already openly said that he's from Philadelphia, the same place, 215, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's North Philly, if I'm not mistaken, even further. That's the same exact place where Meek Mills is from. The same exact place. So the very fact that Meek Mills, who's supposedly from the same place that Dr. Umar says he's from, Philadelphia, what he represents right here in the United States of America, goes over to his beloved Africa and gets jumped. And who knows what they would have did to that man, to be honest with you. Like, if that wasn't crowd control and security wasn't there, I don't know what would have happened to him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, because them people was on some savage shit. For real. Now, it's funny, they don't have that same type of smoke for the colonizers who go over there and whoop them with bamboo sticks, but that's a whole nother issue. It's funny how Dr. Umar says nothing when it comes to his fellow Philadelphia brother, Meek Mills, getting harmed over in Africa. But he has smoke for foundational Black Americans. And he's even said FBA is a hate group, which is very dangerous language. And for me, when he says that about FBA being a hate group, family, that's straight out the mouth of some of these tethers who call our spaces, man. To me, that's unwarranted and that's really unforgivable. I don't think you can go off code like that and then come back around and bust a U-turn and be solid and representative. So, yeah, brother, you make a good goddamn point now that you're looking at it. What we see here is Dr. Umar clearly has spite for foundational Black Americans to the degree where he will throw his fellow Philadelphia brother under the bus so he can protect Africa. Now, let me ask you this question, my brother Zilla, since we're speaking about Dr. Kubar Vasquez. Have you been seeing a lot of these people who've been claiming to be FBA or have been kind of hiding behind the curtains a little bit? Have you been seeing a lot of these people's lineage starting to get called out? Have you been seeing the lineage gatekeeping, the where's your family from crowd? Have you been seeing that, brother?
Hoo-wee. Yeah, there's been a lot. And going back, just looking at this year in review, we've had some of these people who call themselves gatekeepers who sit right up under individuals that are not foundational Black Americans. Or you have people speaking for Freedmen about reparations who are in Twitter spaces laying right next to Zaddy. I've seen both of those happen within 2022 and also get exposed. So yeah, I saw, yeah, because see, here's the thing also about the tether thing, because we got these folks that believe, and I always stress this, ladies, don't harass the men about who we don't rock with, because y'all have something that has been a source of revenue since the beginning of time. Men don't necessarily possess that, and our relationships with one another are never based on that. So when you have always somebody coming over here with the oh, I see you are just like a African queen, and you are this, that's game. See, you understand? You're never going to get on a plane and get all those damn shots you got to get to go to that individual's homeland. So he can come over here and tell you all kind of game and say, hey, you know, this is what it is. So sisters, I got y'all. Y'all need to understand, when y'all have these type of dudes around, they are only fooling with you to be with you. Don't bring them around us and then act like we are supposed to accept them and their agenda as we are one, just because y'all became one in the bedroom. Us as the men, I could speak for my brother Black Alpha and myself, we have foundational Black American wives, so there's no camaraderie that we would have with no African talking about where he's coming from. And that's not no shade on any African or Caribbean, but how they are raised and how they are brought up in their culture is different than us. So I can relate to my wife's childhood. We have a relation to our childhood. We got grandmothers from the country. We got grandfathers from the country, great-great-grandfathers from the country. We got that. These other folks that come through here, they have no relation to us whatsoever. So they hold no kind of honor to what we are here. Now, the other folks that come here and kind of open-minded, they can receive us, cool. That's not who we're talking about. We're talking about the specific tether group who is looking, the key of it, they're always looking to be accepted by the dominant society. And one of the things about being accepted is you have to leave your Blackness and accept their whiteness, which the center core piece of their whiteness is anti-Blackness. Back to you, brother.
Appreciate that, family. Hey, all day, every day. Hey, brother Afro, man, what did you feel about that Dr. Umar situation, man? I watched the show, so I already know, man, but I want to have you elaborate further, man. How do you feel, just in general, man? How you feel about this dude's off-coded energy lately?
I feel like we've surpassed Dr. Umar. We surpassed him because the thing is that when you refuse to, the movement is always progressing. Let's talk real. The movement is always progressing. The movement is always growing, and it should be. The movement should always evolve. Before I can probably, and I can even speak for myself, we was all on some Pan-African stuff, or at least most of us was, because that's what we thought was the best for the movement. That's what we thought was really fighting against, fighting a good fight. That's what we thought. And as we grew, we realized that, okay, well, now Pan-Africanism, we're going to have to put a pin in that because we got to focus on our own lineage. We got to empower our own lineage first. And then we can, if they're on code, we can pick and choose who gets to, come aboard. That's the progression in our mentality. Dr. Umar has this delusion of grandeur, which is why he calls himself the Prince of Pan-Africanism. This man calls himself the King Kong consciousness. He really does feel like he's this big, super conscious man. Don't get me wrong, I don't disagree with everything he says. There's a lot of things he says I do disagree with. But the problem is the movement and the ideology of the people who are fighting the movement, the ideology of the people who are activists and resistance to the movement, for the movement. We've passed him. We've surpassed his ideology. And he can't stand that because this is what he has. He thought that being the quote-unquote Prince of Pan-Africanism put him on top. And maybe it did. Maybe he is the Prince of Pan-Africanism. But Pan-Africanism is a past movement. Pan-Africanism isn't no more. Pan-Africanism is done with. Nobody is on that page anymore. He's on the page of yesterday, and he refuses to get on with the present. He refuses that. And a lot of people allege that that is because he has his background is from Cuba. That's what I've heard too. So I'm hearing that as well too. So he refuses to move forward. And to be totally honest, that comes at a bad detriment because Dr. Umar has a big profile. He has a big profile. So if he was on the B1 page, Dr. Umar could be a very valuable asset. But he refuses to do that because he refuses to upgrade his mentality and his train of thought. So right now, Dr. Umar is actually becoming an anchor to the movement. He's actually digressing the movement. He's working backwards for the movement. Then he's working forward because he can't accept the fact that we've moved past him. So he's trying to hold us back by saying, oh, well, y'all can't get reparations because y'all date white girls. Y'all can't get reparations because black women straighten their hair. He's holding us back when he gets on those platforms and says those things. And that's because we've surpassed Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar is the activist of yesterday, and we need activists of today. We need movements of today. And with that, I'll pass the mic.
I love the way you
Absolutely.
said it. I love the way you said it.
Absolutely.
The activists of tomorrow, we the activists of today.
Yeah, hold on real quick, Sir Major. Hold on real quick, Sir Major. Brother, I totally agree with you, my brother. The one thing about like Umar is he has long left the collective mindset of the general black public, because this dude has kind of been on his own thing. He's been hating on reparations in the same conversation as also promoting donating to him. So that's the one thing that, you know, I think people are kind of tired of that old shtick. But with that being said, Sir Majors came on to the stage, so you can go ahead and unmute yourself, brother. You got it.
No, I appreciate it. I didn't mean to cut in like that. I'll say one thing, man. To the Nation of Islam, let me not say the nation. To the individuals, there are individuals in the Nation of Islam that love mentioning my name because I am that guy in real life. Don't mention my name because you're gonna start a problem that is gonna leave you to do some explaining with the minister. Don't speak on my name. Whatever beat the tribe, the nation got was secure the tribe.
Hold on, real quick. I don't want to get up, but I don't want to get into that type of
getting into it. Just let me land.
Because I just don't want to
get into it.
too much,
Trust me.
because people got to hear. I want to make sure we get this clear.
I got enough discernment. I know what to say, what not to say. Trust me.
Okay, go ahead, brother. You got it.
Whatever they got with them over there, don't speak on me. Now, Brother Beats, I know you scared of brothers being in suits knocking at your door at 4 o'clock in the morning. That ain't gonna happen.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
I'm just saying that my name was mentioned on their stage by Malcolm. And what I tried to do was give Malcolm a warning. Young Malcolm, that's Lil Malcolm. They ain't even, that ain't Big Malcolm. That's Lil Malcolm. And I tried to give them a warning. And this is where we go back to Black Alpha. We were having this conversation the other day about folks thrusting themselves into a movement that they know nothing about. And we're talking about Lowski. Lowski facilitated all that stuff, right? Right before all of them walked in that room, it was a troll room. They were trolling FBA and trolling, by the way, we found this information, Beats. I know you're excited to hear that. So there's that. Just keep my name out of it. I ain't had nothing to do with that.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's kind of unfamiliar to me, because one of the things that I've been really kind of focused on is once you mark a group with what they are, and with that, STT thing for me, they pretty much in the
What's
win
SCT
and
for your
everything.
tribe? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So for me, that is kind of like I say, that's kind of a chat line to me. There's no content creators in that. So I like to stay focused on the actual influencers. I know you have spaces that you do, and that you have, especially when you were doing also the Rally for Reparations space that you guys held. That type of thing is what I'm on. I get there's other things that people do for entertainment, and because Twitter Spaces allows certain accessibilities, you can get the Asperger crew to kind of join in, and once you get a bunch of people of like minds in the same room, it can cause a wave. And I just don't like giving that energy of the nonsensical talking in circles, trash conversation to space. So, I mean, I get it, because what they do is they'll mention your name because you got that many followers. That's the whole point. You always have to mention somebody who has more than you. And that's why you always see people going at Tariq Nasheed, because it's what do you see? I gotta put his name in a space. I gotta get some attention. Oh, Jason Black, I don't like him. The Nation of Islam, I don't like them, such and such. But hey, if it's all for the
You're
betterment
trying to
of the
stay
people.
relevant.
Yeah, and that happens, and I get it, because this is the end of 2022. And like I said, the water is being raised, and the conversation and intent of empowerment is definitely taking the forefront. And so for the people who have maybe felt some kind of way about not getting their proper shine to where they thought they should have, nothing has been in their way. But with that being said, we, shout out to, again, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, NOI, everybody over there holding it down. And that has also been helping reinforce this new Black media banner. So I give credence to all of that. Brother Black Alpha, are you back yet, brother? So I know our brother was having some connection issues.
He told Major to keep going. No, I'm just playing.
So yeah, it looks like my brother is still having some connection issues. So what we'll do is we will go to the hand. Go ahead, Kingdom. You can unmute yourself.
Hey Beatzilla, definitely follow me back. I'm the youth. We have a petition that we just put out there to end the executive order of HR 40. So I need people to blast that, right? Because Narcan and Cobra are trying to steal trillions from us right now. We have to put out fires. They're spreading around like wildfire, like roaches. And I'm going to just be honest with you. This is really an issue. And, I always come in here if we talk about reparations and we talk about tangibles, right? And that is tangible, right? Because Cam Howard, like he said, he will go on a campaign to push his narrative for HR 40 while working with Daniel Davenport, who keeps sending us messages, right, in the back channel talking about, oh, you need to come into this movement, right? Come join our boot camp, all of this extra shit. But yes, I think that's important to know. A lot of people don't know this. Sitting on apps, I need people to come outside in real life. We have an event January 7th up here in Boston. We're going to be educating people on reparations and state acts of atonement on a local and federal level. And I'm happy for that. And is it okay if I put all that information in the Jumbotron and the petition?
Yes, I have a real quick question, though.
Go ahead.
Are you aware that HR 40 being able to kind of even be reviewed literally ends at midnight New Year's Eve?
Yes, yep. That's what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying, because
Okay.
Yes, I do know that. And the crazy thing is that they're really pushing to give the diaspora our money. We can't just let this happen, because if you realize we let this happen, then all of them get money. It's money for you, money for you, money for you. The Afghanis already got resettlement money to rebuild their lives here in America. And I got the government document. That's what it says. 76,000 of them, maybe more. But I'm saying Our reparations is going to other ethnic groups, and look what Narcan and Cobra are doing cross nationwide. We're not, Boston is just not the only state that has this issue with Narcan and Cobra infiltrating the reparations movement, because when you think about it, they're the ones that took the initiative to do the state. That's why we're having all of these problems up here, and we're trying to put out fires, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, I do. Thank you. So yeah, you definitely go ahead and put that information in the Jumbotron. Thank you for that. We definitely need the youth active. That is extremely important. Brother Afro, I'm not sure if Black Alpha is back. Are you back? Are you back, brother?
Yes, indeed, family. Back better than ever, man. Back better than ever. I just caught the last piece of that right there. And family, I didn't know that HR 40 is about to expire. That's 100?
Yes.
Yeah, I just on my last broadcast, so it actually ended up coming out within the AAIP group that sent the letter to Joe Biden last Wednesday about reparations. So this has just recently happened. Of course, we're in the last home stretch, but I look at it as this is a gift and a curse, because HR 40 will officially be off the table. However, the conversation of lineage-based reparations is already in motion. So this is actually might be a gift and a curse. However, let's look at all of these Black politicians that let this happen. And this is the last 48 hours of this bill being a conversation, and they have said absolutely nothing.
Yes, and that's going to be great, Beatzilla, because when you think about it, I also put in the Jumbotron that the Asians are even pushing for HR 40. Come on, when have the Asians spoken for quote unquote us? Never. So my point is, I want you guys to take a closer look at the petition, because it has organizations that actually fund Narcan and Cobra. We have a list of 300 names. Like, it's crazy. So, if you guys know these organizations, or if they're in your states or your cities, definitely contact them or leave a Google review, phone number, email, and give them this petition. Because this is how Narcan and Cobra are going to lose money, right? Because we want them to be broke. A lot of us are broke. The average wealth for a Black family up here is $8. And like people like Glory below me, he knows what I'm talking about. So like that's why it's so sad. So the least we can do, right, if people want to be on social media, is contact these organizations that actually put money into Narcan and Cobra. We're talking about organizations like Johnson & Johnson, even the Black American Studies program at HBCUs. We're talking about people, even the Asian Pacific people, they actually fund Narcan and Cobra. That's a whole group. Even the LGBTQ, they get funded by Narcan and Cobra. It's a lot of organizations that actually fund them. And the only reason I'm only saying that and to stress the people is because we have to limit the resources. We have to limit the money that they're getting, because everything they do is a money grab. They're not doing anything. I'm telling you, as a young person, I haven't seen the church do anything. I have not. Literally, they have not did anything. They haven't did come into the programs, no schools, none of that. So it's been an issue. And I'm just saying, as a young person, like, people, we got to get our men on the ground. We got to get our men outside. We got to get working together again, because this shit is crazy. We actually need to interact with each other again in real life, like we out the cookout. And I know it can be scary for some people and uncomfortable, but if you don't want to lose trillions to Narcan and Cobra, y'all know what's up. I'm gonna land my plane though, because it's so serious. I feel it.
Dope. You actually said quite a bit, and something else that I would hope to harp on, because of course that is one of the hashtags in this conversation, is family. We have to also defend reparations. So as we get closer into, we are getting closer, so not as, we are getting closer to the actual tangible situation. And as HR 40 is fading, that means that this conversation of a study of reparations is now leaving. We're getting into the conversation of now reparations. So basically what we have been stressing all of this time, reparations. We don't need a study. We need reparations, because any plan of reparations automatically includes a study. So that's part of reparations. But when you get the reparations part in place, you understand the study is to figure out how much. That's the only reason you're having a study. You don't glorify the study. You glorify the Reparations Act. But the part of it is the study. But you never make the study the main thing. And that's what they've done. So I'm glad that that's dying on the vine, because now we need to focus on getting reparations implemented ASAP. And it's already proof of being done on a state level. So there is no excuse. But what I do have concerns about are all of these different groups that are funding NARC and then Cobra. So thank you so much for also sharing that information, because family, you want to know who these folks are and know who the people are behind those organizations and who has the say and the do what power in those organizations. So thank you, Kingdom. That was great. Appreciate that. Back to my brother.
Hey, man, hey, that's a perfect alley-oop, fam. That's what, hey, brother, you be throwing me them good-ass alley-oops, brother. Appreciate that, too. Yeah, you know what I was thinking about, family, is, you know, when you start looking at it from a historical level like we have been, when you start looking at reparations, man, the first thing that you notice is, like we said, the progress that we've made, but then you've seen everybody try to get in on it. I feel like in 2022, there's been like 5 waves of it. If everybody remembers, at first, it was the denial of reparations, all right? And they used to try to stall us out and thought we would just quit and just be like, all right, man, it ain't even worth the fight. We didn't do that. We actually got stronger in terms of fighting for reparations. And then what happened, brother? Everybody else tried to get in on our reparations. And then it's finally sunk in their heads, their tether heads, that they couldn't get it. They couldn't come in. They couldn't steal it. They tried to weasel themselves in. The best thing that we ever did, there's 2 terms that we have created. And that's what I want to speak about. And I want to ask this to you, Brother Afro, because we all, you know, we good with the lexicon and stuff. The 2 terms that I love the most that have been really, I don't know if they've been created this year, but they've been in, you know, massive effect this year, is lineage based and flat blackness. Those are the 2 terms that we have created. We let everybody know that flat blackness is a term which they try to use against us, and we counter that by coming up with the term lineage based. So basically, in essence, we took that whole everybody can come on in, everybody can be black, everybody can just, you know, slither into our reparations claim, and then we cancel that by saying lineage based. What are some of the terms, some of the identifications? Tether's one of them. I love that term too. But what are some of the terms and identifications that you guys have seen that we've come up with? Because I tell people all the time, this era is fresh. Everything is fresh. I'm talking about we literally took a whole new vocabulary. We got rid of all that old shit. When was the last time y'all heard yes we can? When was the last time y'all heard can we all get along? Like you were saying, Brother Zilla, you don't hear I had a dream no more. You hear I'm coming to get our check. You feel me? Those are the things that we've done. We take a whole new approach to everything, starting with action and our words, to the point where when somebody comes into a space and they start speaking, you could already tell what type of time they on if they're using them old, outdated, dinosaur-ass words. So that's the difference between now and then. I want to ask you, Brother Afro, what are some of the terms, man, that you've heard within the last, you know, year or so that have really defined this new era right now?
Well, I'm gonna say the term FBA, the term Foundational Black American. That is a very and the term Freedmen as well too. That is a very powerful term because it's a term that we made. It's a term that we stuck with. It's a term that defines us clearly. That nobody else. There's no wiggle room. There's no air. There's no room for error. That nobody else, if you're not involved in it, you can't say, well, my parents came here in the 90s, but I've been living here now. That don't matter. You're not FBA. That term in and of itself is the stepping stone for us delineating the way we needed to, for us making the delineations the way we've needed to. I can say one of the other things that we've done, you talk about adding terms. I will say adding terms as well as subtracting terms that were common in the lexicon. Terms like people of color, terms like disenfranchised communities, terms like minority, even terms like black. Even terms like black, we don't even really use that much. Now we use it in a general sense because we understand we want global black empowerment in a general sense. But when we're talking about policies, we don't even really use the term black. When we see, oh yeah, black, we are like, oh, well, what exactly does that mean? Specify that. Terms like African American. When is the last time you really see, y'all don't really see people use the term African American like that anymore. Not really. You really don't see that. They just use black. And then even with that, now they're having to delineate even further from African American to black to now black American. And then they try to use things like descendants of slaves. When we're talking about or slave descendants, they will say, oh yeah, black slave descendants. No. You mean descendants of American slaves. So even with the terms that we're using that they try to kind of pinch off of, we're so airtight with the terms and with the definitions of it that they can't even get away with that. I've seen so many of our videos and broadcasts on YouTube where we're reading through articles, and as we're reading through, we're picking apart every single paragraph, every single sentence of every paragraph, and we're saying, see, that's that people of color stuff. You see that? Or see, that's that black and brown. You see that over there? Or that didn't really happen. We're so precise. We're like surgeons with a scalpel. That's how precise we were. So we're adding empowerment terms like Foundation Black American, like Freedmen, like descendants of slaves, all of these terms like lineage based, and we are also subtracting terms like African American, people of color, minority, disenfranchised community, all of that stuff. So I think it's a combination of both. It's like that 1-2 punch, you know what I'm saying? With that, I'll pass the mic.
No, I would have to agree, brother. Like the terms that we have gotten just totally done away with. One of the things that I look at is once we start defining our own terms, we defined ourselves, we defined our lineage, and we defined our demands. We still have now people trying to figure out, look at erectus susse. Man, y'all over here celebrating a holiday that no one else has ever heard of. Y'all know, let me low-key tell you what that really saying. Man, y'all over here having a holiday that the white man ain't said was a holiday. Man, that's made up because the white man ain't said so. That is legitimately what's on these folks' spirits when they talking to you. So take that into consideration, that they aren't even proud enough of who they see in the mirror. So they could never big you up. You know what I'm saying? So we're over here changing terms, changing phrasing, changing words of and understandings of an empowerment. So hopefully that person or the person who might be on the fence listening to an individual like that will say, you know what? I'm more gravitating towards what Afro Elite talking about. I think I'm feeling more so what Black Alpha Network is talking about. I'm feeling what B-Zilla talking. I think I'd rather rock with that than deal with that boule shit. So understand, family, changing terminology is important, and setting our own terminology on how we allow people to define us and the way we define ourselves means everything. And look at the reactions of the world. Back to you, brother.
Hey man, you can't forget about Alpha Elite and the Black Afro Network. Don't forget that one, family. Because
shout out Dr. Stewart. Shout out Dr. Stewart and Juan B. Shout out to my brothers over there.
hey, for everybody don't know, that's an inside joke between us, man, because everybody's always mixing me and Afro's names up. And like you said, Afro, that's actually not a bad name. It really ain't. It's just not our names.
No, it's not. The name is cool. It's a tight name. You're right. It's just not our name.
Hey, man, that should be having me rolling, man. I see it all the time. Hey, and now I'm seeing people like slip, and then they'll get like half of it out, and then they'll catch it and pause, and then they'll rewind real quick, and then reiterate it. So that shit is funny as hell. My brother John Horace, so I see you, family. Man, speak on anything you want to speak about, man. Freelance, you know how we do.
What's good, Brody? Yeah, man, it's a good conversation. You know, I feel like in the coming years, I feel like right now we in a good space for reparations. Of course, the closer you get to anything, there's going to be more resistance to it. I actually think one thing. Okay, so I did see. I don't know if y'all remember this guy, Baked Alaska, the little suspected white supremacist. He had the debate with
Oh, yeah, speak on that, bro.
Yeah, so he had a poll that he had posted yesterday. He posted it on his page, and he just asked a simple question on the poll. He was like, "Would you all rather send $1 trillion to the Ukraine, or would you rather pay $1 trillion to Black Americans?" And you all would probably be surprised that a lot of the white supremacists up there would actually say that, we actually would rather have the $1 trillion here in the economy. We'd rather have it, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the people on the comments, if you go on his page and you look at the comments, a lot of them are saying these are American citizens. They're saying, hey, Black Americans are American citizens. At least the $1 trillion will be in our economy. Now, with that being said, don't get it twisted thinking that these niggas ain't gonna sit there and try to finesse the bag up out of us. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, they'll say one thing and whoop-de-whoop, but, as we all know, read Dr. Claude Anderson's books. A lot of that, the laws and stuff that they pass, and a lot of the acts and stuff that go through, there's always some type of weird loophole. So, like as Kingdom posted in the top in the jumbotron, one of the main issues that we're going to face is that they're going to try to figure out, okay, we're going to pass reparations, but how do we get it into our hands too? So for us going forward, we need to double down on it. We need to make sure that we double down on everything that we do. Everything that we've been doing, saying, everything. We just got to make sure that we fine-tooth comb all the paperwork, everything like that. These other groups, if we don't know you, if we ain't put you out there or anything like that, we don't rock with you. So we just got to, we just got to stay focused, laser focused, fine-tooth comb all the paperwork, everything like that, and just stay dedicated, and we got it.
You made a very important point, and I want to piggyback off of that for one brief moment. The reason why we haven't gotten reparations is because they're waiting and they're plotting to find a way they can finesse the reparations. If we weren't so airtight on the terms, if we weren't so airtight on who gets it and where it comes from, if we weren't so airtight on that, they would have been giving it out. If they figured that there was a way they could finesse reparations, they would gladly give reparations away. They would be joyful to give reparations away. But the thing is that we're not letting that happen. We're so airtight. We're all like, hey, you're Black. We love you, but you're not a descendant of slaves. You don't get it. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm a descendant of slaves in Jamaica. Okay, well, you got to go to the French and you got to get your money from there. You can't get it from here. We're so airtight on it that there's no way they can finesse it. It's like they have no choice but to shoot the ball, because if you guys know basketball, the shot clock is going down, the timer's going down, so they got to shoot the ball, but we're guarding them so tight they can't freely shoot the ball. So it's all like they don't know what to do at this point. I just want to add that into what you said.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's like, it's like the term that Thomas Jefferson said, we have a tiger by the ears. We can't let it go, nor can we continue to hold it. That's what he meant. He was speaking about us. All those years ago, the 200 years ago that he said that was specifically about us. We have a tiger by the ears. We can't let it go, but we can't continue to hold it. So something has to happen. Either way you see it, they're in a bind. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, we're essentially picking up where the civil rights left off, where they messed up at what Dr. Claude Anderson said that we should have been fighting for. This is what we're fighting for now. This is the new civil rights movement in the beginning of we're in the genesis of it right now. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we should have been fighting for in the 60s. This is what we should have been in the streets for in the 60s. Shouldn't have been integration. Shouldn't be sitting there, we want everybody to love us and everything like that. Nah, like, look, you ain't got to love us. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about who love me or who say what. I don't care about nobody calling me names. Nigga, just pay me my reparations and I'm going to go over here and, I'm going to build up everything I need to build up. and then we can, you know what I'm saying, then we can talk about loving each other and doing everything like that. But until then, you know what I'm saying, we just got to just stay focused. This is the new civil rights movement. We just got to, you know what I'm saying, stay focused for the next generation and just focusing on producing our own justice.
Ooh-wee. You know, John Horst, you actually mentioned something. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That is literally one of those old racist nursery rhymes. So for those of y'all who grew up in the Black America, y'all know eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by his toe. If you really believe a tiger has a toe, then you're fooling yourself. No, that just replace tiger. Think of Tigger, and then just replace that old T with the good old N, and then you'll start understanding what the hell they was really saying. So let me break that down real quick. If you hold hostage this particular group too long, if they scream, you better let them go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Back to you, brother.
Man, I swear, y'all all smart as hell, man. Let me tell you something. I learned something from every last one of y'all. That's why I tap into these productive Twitter spaces, and I stay away from the drama ones, man. The drama, you're only going to leave with that love and hip hop, man. When you pull up to these ones right here, man, all you get is a lot of real shit, a lot of quotes, a lot of real, things that apply to today. Before we get to my brother Rilla and then the Black Texan, I want to ask y'all brothers real quick. Have y'all been sensing, because, hey, quote to what you just said, my brother John Horst, there's something different. Like, there's an energy in the air. Like, you see it when you look at brothers and sisters in their eyes. This is way different. I don't want nobody to think that this is like a fly-by night or this is some come and go stuff. Our brother Afro Elite, you said it months ago, family. You said this is the new normal right here. This is the new normal, and everybody's got like their hands on it. It's like a death grip, man. You know what I'm saying? So anybody thinking, we gonna fall or fade back, what I really realized is that the more everybody else gets off code, the more we get on code. So we're really being strengthened by the opposition. And that's a powerful thing that you see, man. When we was at that reparations rally, like I said, those of us who were there in the flesh and those who were here in spirit, that was just a vibe and an energy, man, that you could just feel it. Like, it's in the air, but you catch that same energy out here in the streets when you're dealing with the brothers and sisters. So I always tell people, man, it's a beautiful time to be alive. And if you've ever loved being a foundational Black American freedman, this is it. And if you ever aspired to change the world, you're changing it right now. So it's a whole different ball game. I'm going to send that to you, Rilla. I want you to answer that, family, and then go ahead and cook, my brother. It's all on you, Rilla.
Oh, did you want me to answer that question, Alpha?
Yeah, you can answer that and then go ahead and cook, man. And bone is still better than 3-6, baby. But it's all on you.
I don't know about that, brother. But man, I'm glad you brought up the rally because we were all there at the rally. Since this is the year of FBA 2022, we're going into 2023, and the rally was in 2022. I wanted to ask Afro a question. Afro, how does it feel to be the most mean person of 2022 and Black American Reparations Twitter? I think I was probably fourth. Also, how do you guys feel about, fellow Black Americans hating on FBA because Tariq came up with the term FBA?
Well, I'm gonna answer the memes. I like the memes. I like the memes for a couple of reasons. First off, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the memes was funny as hell. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the memes, most of the memes, I'm not gonna lie, was funny as hell. I was rolling. I mean, not just at the fact that the memes, I guess, were kind of funny, but at the fact that you guys are corny enough to make a meme about me. Now, some of the memes were very offensive, like the meme where they put me side to side next to what's that dude name who murdered Fred Hampton? William O'Neill. When they put me next to William O'Neill, I found that wasn't funny to me. That was offensive. I didn't like that. I actually reported that because I found that very offensive. The memes about me in a little bus, that was kind of funny. But what I find the most interesting is that they took the time to download my picture and to crop it out to make a meme. I really got these niggas shook like that. I got people tagging me in memes. I don't even know their name. I'm sitting up there like, people offended at me making spaces about me, making memes about me. I'm all like, did I ever know you? I look at their thing, they got like 200 followers. I'm all like, is this a new profile or is this somebody who just hating on me because I guess that's the trend of the week? I don't know, man. To be honest, I find it funny, but it is kind of sad, and it does show how sad these people are. I ain't made a meme about, well, no, I did, but that was necessary. That was necessary. I made videos about folks. Yeah, I did make some memes, but the ones I made were necessary. The ones they made, they were just corny. You laugh at them once, you look back, you don't laugh again. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was very interesting.
If you act like the videos Afro Elite made wasn't funny, you lying.
That shit was funny as hell. That shit was funny as hell.
Especially with the boots. Oh man, the boots. The boots is killing me. And oh yeah. Oh man, when you went down the list of it, yeah, that was a classic roast, family. So yeah, it might not feel good. You're like, you don't have to be so petty, but y'all didn't have to threaten this man. I sat up here and listened to people talk about, we gonna go to the rally for reparations, and we gonna be there in the reparations because we down for the people. But Afro Elite, I'm on your top. It's on when I see you. Family. Really? We gonna have this positive black movement, but Afro Elite, it's on and popping when I see you. Come on now. Come on now. We don't take that to things like this. Somebody know, you got to know how to read the room. This is positive, and you don't understand how to read the positive movement. Back to you, brother.
Hey, let me say this, man.
Already.
All day. Let me say it like this, family. Rilla, I think I sent Rilla, and I might have sent it to you, Zilla and Afro. I made the best meme of the year. I never put it out. It had something to do with Haitians and whips. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I never put it out. I'm telling y'all, that would have been the meme of the year. I would have got 1,000 likes for it, but I was cool, calm, and collected. I ain't put it out. You know what I'm saying? I was staying in my little G lane. But trust me, y'all, it would have crushed the game. It's like when somebody got a hit record and then they never put it out and it just stayed on like vinyl. That's, you know what I'm talking about, Zilla. It just stayed on vinyl. I ain't put that stuff out in the streets, family. So trust me, that meme would have killed the game. But let me say this. At the rally, right? Okay. First off, I talked to my brother Afro Elite like soon as I got in town. You feel me? Soon as I got in town. I got in late because we was going to link up early. Afro called me when I was at the mall looking for my hat. You know what I'm talking about, Afro? Because I was pissed off because I left my hat back in Georgia. I was mad. Anyway, so I had to go get another hat. Anyway, so I talked to Afro. Afro was the first person I seen when I got there. Like straight up, I'm like, where you at, brother? He's like, I'm over here. Went over there. And I noticed one thing, family, and that is everybody who was talking crazy all year long didn't come to the rally. Like 99% of the drama and the love and hip hop and the bickering did not show up, didn't come. Like all the negativity stayed home and all the positive folks was there. So I was right there with my brother Afro in the flesh. Afro was there doing his thing, not worrying about nobody, staying in his, lane, taking care of business. He came there on some positive stuff, came there for the movement. And all the folks that was hating on my brother was MIA. So that goes to show you that positive certified energy. And trust me, I was there. Like I said, I walked straight to my brother, dapped up. What up, family? What's good? And Afro was there doing his business just like everybody else. So that shows you that certified real one is got to just be themselves, and you're going to win just by being you. And people who got to flodge and got to do all that clout chasing, they're going to fall straight to the side. It's funny when you do a lot of clout chasing, but you don't really move nowhere. You're just moving your legs, but you're staying in the same position. That's a goddamn shame. Go ahead, brother Rilla.
Yeah, Alpha, actually, they were there.
Oh, wow. Damn, that's even worse.
They didn't do shit. I saw them there. They were just taking pictures and videos and live tweeting.
They came as tourists.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely there, though. I saw them. Definitely have, especially towards the end. But, Alpha, what was that? Well, you guys didn't answer my second question yet. And Alpha, what was the question that you asked me? Because I'm on my way to work, so I can't really interact.
Oh yeah, family. Have you been just sensing the, like, outside of like these spaces, man? Have you just been sensing the energy? I feel foundational Black Americans are pissed off, ain't playing. What everybody say, fuck around and find out. I feel like a lot of folks done fucked around and they finding out. Like, my question is, do you sense that energy, that shift? Like, I remember a couple years ago when Black folks were running around here tap dancing in public. I see now a lot of Black folks who about that business. They serious. They're like, the conversations of change have come up more and they not really playing no more. Do you sense a vibe? Do you sense a shift in energy and a shift of mentality out here in the streets?
I see it a lot on Twitter. I wish I could see it a lot more in person. Cause I always say this, man, at the FBA rally, there was a lot of folks that came down to the FBA rally, but I didn't see any of my coworkers. I didn't see any of my family members down there. I didn't see any of my personal friends down there. You know what I mean? But hopefully when there's another rally in DC or wherever, hopefully we can see more of the people that we sit next to, as Black Americans, hopefully, you know what I mean? But definitely on Twitter, I see a lot of people or just on social media in general, I see a lot of people are waking up to this. Like even Van Lathan, I'm surprised he even said something to Akon, with his comments on Black people in the past. But, I'm happy he said something to Akon, so.
Hey, for the record, Rilla, I seen you, family. I'm telling you, brother, it was like some shit out of a movie. I seen you, and as I got up to come to you, like to dap you up, I seen Afro was calling me. Because I can't remember, it was a lady that wanted to meet me or whatever. And I walked over there, and as soon as I turned around, brother, you was gone. You was gone. That's why I DM'd you, and you was like, you was going to the restaurant. When I walked to the White House, I was actually fixing to go. And I was going to act the fool, though, brother. I ain't going to lie to you. I was going to walk in the restaurant and be like, where Rilla at? I was going to be loud as hell, just to get attention, family. But I was going to do it. I was going to do it. Queen told me not to do it, though. So I was like, shit. Okay, I ain't going to do it. But I was going to act crazy as hell. But yeah, brother, I seen you and you disappeared like that, family. But I'm going to catch you on the next one, family. We're going to post up.
You know how expensive DC parking is. I'm like, I'm in this damn garage. Let me get my car out. I ain't fucking around with these people. And I'm from the area, but I'm like, I'm not paying $24 for parking. You know how it is, Black Alpha.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Hey, that walk was just right up there. I was like, hell yeah, that's where it's at. Okay, we flicking right up the goddamn hill. We'll get there. Black Texan, it's on you, brother. I know you've been here, family. Go ahead, and then our brother Yoda, and then I see my brother Sage on the stage too. Go ahead, Black Texan.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you for allowing me up to speak. And I'm enjoying everything that everybody has to say. And I have to say, like, I think that the atmosphere, it's pretty clear to me that a lot more people are becoming more serious and aware. I'm noticing that a lot of people are even more, they're okay with greeting one another, it seems small, but some years back, I remember noticing that in places like on Capitol Hill, for example, Black people would just walk straight past each other. They wouldn't acknowledge one another. And me, I focus obviously more on Black men. And, I would just notice that they were not, look at you. They wouldn't do the heads up, none of that. But now it's completely different. You got Black men greeting each other in very vibrant and happy ways, like, uplifting one another. And I'm enjoying that. Because it makes me feel like I'm not alone anymore. So I definitely see that in the atmosphere. A lot more people are conscious about the concept and idea of reparations, which is amazing. So yes, I feel the same exact energy that you feel, I believe. And I would like to piggyback on Zilla on what he was saying earlier, as far as like, changing the language, our own definitions, creating our own culture, controlling our economy, building our own political system within our own system, not within their system. And I just want to make sure that I present it to y'all that me personally and some teammates of mine, we have been actually putting in work into a living organization to do so. Not for profit, it's nothing for profit. It's not a non-profit per se, but we're definitely working and using tools to make that happen so that it goes beyond just us in a democratic way for the entire Black community. I don't expect the entire Black community to get on board, to be honest with you, because a lot of people are stragglers, a lot of people are talkers. You brothers, I know y'all about y'all business, and that's why I like being part of spaces like that. You do not see me in unproductive spaces. I know y'all don't. You know you don't. I'm always in spaces like this, and I love it. But yeah, like so, I think actually today is we're doing a premiere. So like people want to see me put my money where my mouth is, or my time on my mouth is. You can actually see it. See it. You know, you will be able to touch it here soon for feeling and all that stuff like that. Because we putting in work, and I would like to see more people put in work. And if you don't feel like putting in the time for work, join somebody that's putting in the work. And so, like I said, you know, we have a premiere coming up. I think it's 6 o'clock today. That's Central Standard Time. But you know, if you don't mind, I just want to say, like, you know, it is on my Twitter as far as the link to the YouTube. It's the last tweet that I tweeted out. I would like to see a lot of y'all there. You know, just a support because we putting in work. You know, I feel like a lot of people was, you know, talking about how no one was doing anything that's tangible. And so it's nice to see people actually support when people do things that's tangible, especially when y'all are in mind. It's all about the Black community. Self needs to be put to the side. The individualism needs to be put to the side. That shit is trash. If you're talking to me about just me, I, then you're not the person to talk to me. You're not gonna hold my attention because I'm all about the community all the way. So I just want to put that out there. I appreciate you brothers being up here and, you know, and spreading the love that y'all spreading and information that y'all spreading because it's useful. And if anybody got any questions, I'm happy to answer. I'll stay around for a little bit. Absolutely. I'm gonna land my plane right there.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate that. And you know, the one thing that we always try to do, and I know I speak for both of these brothers on stage, we always try to stay on the uplifting side. You know, of course, there's things that can always be out here that can get you kind of detour you off a track. But at the end of the day, always understand our mission. We are always about the upliftment of the people at the end of the day. No big I's and little U's here. We move as a unit. That's the only I that's in this conversation. So with that being said, did any one of you brothers want to chime in before you get to the next?
No, man, hey, before you go, Afro, Black Texan, man, we got to get up, family. I'm going to DM you, brother.
Absolutely. Please, I'm looking forward to all collaborations. I'm working with anybody that's looking to work because I put in work and I'll show you my work. I can prove my work. So I'm looking forward to anybody that's looking to collaborate, man. Just give me a call, especially before the new year, because I'm gonna get extremely busy and I want to make sure that I can get in everybody that's willing to speak. I set a time for you because I care. So yeah, absolutely. I'm here.
Me too as well. And I wanted to just say, based off of what you said, as far as seeing a lot of us together in one place, seeing as many people with the same mindset in one place, that does give you hope. That does embolden you. I remember before I found the new Black media, before I knew there was this big community, I had Twitter. I've had Twitter for years. I didn't know. I was just kind of using it just to tweet about a movie or something like that. I didn't know about like this section of Twitter, the B1 Brigade section of Twitter. I didn't know that. So I thought, because this is what my environment kind of made me think, I thought that I was crazy. I remember back not too long ago, they used to make it seem like you being, quote, pro-Black was crazy. They made it seem like, oh, you're one of those pro-Blacks over there, that you're radical, you're irrational, you're illogical, and that you're stuck in this fantasy of what they call Afrocentrism. And they used to make me feel as if I was crazy until I found people who have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they say the same thing that I'm thinking, the same thing that I'm feeling. I see people all in the chat rooms and in the comments saying the same exact thing. When I'm listening to the big three, when I'm listening to Professor Black Truth, Jason Black, and they say something, and I'm all like, I was just thinking the same exact thing. And that reinforces me, that emboldens me to know that what I'm thinking is not wrong, it's actually right, it's actually correct. And that empowers me. So I'm glad that we have that. I just wanted to, when you said that, it made me think of that. So I just wanted to put that out there. We can move on to the hands if y'all want to.
Yeah, hey, definitely. Hey, let me say this before we go to the next hand. So everybody knows how far we go back. All right. I've only really been doing this for 2 years, you know, like publicly, right? My brother Beatzilla was like my 12th subscriber on YouTube. All right. He was my 12th. All right. I got like 2,000 something now, but he was my 12th subscriber. My brother Afro Elite, I promise y'all, me and Afro used to like have like 30 subscribers apart. You know what I'm saying? Like we used to all the time. And I'd be in his chat. He'd be in my chat when nobody was there. I actually spoke. The first time I ever spoke on any of these spaces was on Afro's space. It was one of his spaces that, you know, other people used to jack his titles, but that's another story for another day. But anyway, I used to speak on his spaces, and it was the very, very first time that I had ever spoken. I think the first time I talked to you after I was going like my alpha cast, you know, I'm crazy, man. So I was going like 100 miles an hour and just rattling off and shit. You know what I'm saying? Then I brought it down a notch and whatnot. But these two brothers and me go way back. You know what I'm saying? Well, in terms of this black activism, because I consider us all activists. You know, we do media, but at the same time, it's just activism through media. But at the same time, we also do activism by being out here in the streets and, you know, in politics and the social world. But these two brothers and I go way, way back, man. So we've been doing it for a long, long time. But yeah, we can get to the hands. Our brother Yoda, and then my brother John Horse, and I got to get to my brother Sage.
Yo, right before y'all go, I'm sorry. Let's see. Let me see. Mr. Alpha, do you mind if I post the link in the Jumbotron?
Absolutely, family. Go ahead and toss it on up there.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Go ahead, brother Yoda, and then Yoda. Then I got to get. Then let me go to Sage after Yoda, and then back to my brother John.
Hey, righteous for the space, y'all. Y'all put a smile on my face. Let me get started real quick. Ain't nothing in life for free, including slavery. I want to touch on motherfuckers getting ill for us being woke. And they don't even know what woke is. They're just mad because we are exhibiting fucking wisdom and all that. But when you come down to it, being woke, you know what? I had to really think about it. Actually, we was dormant. I had to look up, and I had to look up insects and all that shit. We was dormant. When a motherfucker's dormant, it's some motherfucking species can go through a freeze. They could freeze the fuck up, and then the motherfucking spring come and they thaw the fuck out. And they start walking about. And that's what we doing. And when we start walking, motherfuckers don't want us to walk together. Like this unit that we walk like a millipede. We're a millipede, right? But they want us not to walk. They don't want us to get our limbs coordinated, because if we start walking, Lord knows. Because there's got to be a reason why they keep us from our and lie, and there's got to be a reason why they try to steer us to a point where we don't think that we're valuable. There's got to be a reason why they do that shit, because it must be because we're valuable. Because, you know, we got to always look between the lines in what they doing. If they say something ain't good, it probably is. And if they say it ain't, man, we got to look out for ourselves. And I'm gonna end this real quick. I'm going to land my plane right here. I'm coming down. CRT. Where was these bitches when I was a kid going to school? And they talking about how kids felt when they read these history books, and all they showed was us getting whooped. Man, I'm so glad that we finally are, you know, we got knocked the fuck out. We got laid out. We got stoled on, y'all. It's like, I've never seen a punch that knocked a whole culture down. They knocked us down, bro. And everybody looks at us as if it was our fault. But now people are understanding, we are the chosen ones. Finally. And it's like a revolution. What goes up must come down. And you know what? As far as Africans, we was on top once, and then they knocked us down. We built the pyramids. We got shit built that they can't even explain to this day. They took our shit, they took our mathematics, and then they turned it into their own shit. So that means there's a revolution right there. It went from black to white, and now it's gonna go back. And I want everybody just to hang on. And we ain't got to do much because a lie will fizzle out. They'll fizzle out. But we just cannot have our kids being I didn't know what a lesbian was till I was fucking 15. Nevertheless, interested in another dude. All that shit is fucking programmed. They'd rather teach us about motherfucking, excuse me, y'all. I get so carried away, I get to using profanity. But they got us to the point where if we don't care about ourselves, how could we care about someone else? Like this is like Willie Lynch. Like they studied how to break a nigga down. The way y'all treated, the way you treated us, nigga, to find out I'm a motherfucking royal nigga. We royal nigga. We kings, bro, and queens. Put in fear factor environment and ran experiments.
Hey, I appreciate it. We got to land your plane, family. We got some hands we got to get to.
I'm going, dog. I'm landing.
No, put a cap. Land that plane nice, brother. I ain't going to make you land it. Go ahead. Say your last piece to everybody. Say something good, baby. Let everybody know.
All right. So if I was to say something good, I'm going to say this. It's a choice. And the choice is feeling good. It's not having fun. Having fun is exterior. I'm talking about something that you don't even need. If you go to a concert and the person don't show up, you still feel good. But people are just looking for fun. If that artist don't show up, then it ruins your whole fucking night. I'm talking about feeling good. I'm gonna leave it at that. My plane is gone down.
Salute. All right, now I see I got to get my brother Sage on the stage real quick, man. It's a brother I met at the rally right here, man. And I'm telling y'all, it's like I knew this man for 5-6 years. We clicked like that, man. He been putting in real work, and there was a big space that went on. You know, I think it was this summer, if I'm not mistaken, because he was really out here in the streets on the ground handling real business, man. How you feeling, my brother Sage? How you doing, brother?
I want to say shout out to the family. Excuse my voice, I'm a little under the weather, still battling that cold I was talking to you about. I want to start off with saying thank you to these brothers, Brother Afro, Brother Alpha, Brother Beats. I want to thank, well, first of all, I know my brother Torian is going live right now. I'm subscribed to him. So I want to make sure all of you guys go over there. If they haven't posted the link in the Jumbotron, go check out his program, Freestyle Friday, end of the year edition. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out. As soon as they end this space or play it on another phone or whatever, you all got computers. Again, I remember
on the TV, play it on the TV. Listen to this on.
Yes, sir. Play it on the TV. I know that you guys. I want you guys to understand something. The work ethic of these three brothers on this stage, including my brother Kid Gravity. I don't think he's in here. Salute you guys. I know you guys look at Jason, Tariq, and Professor Black Truth as a big three, which would coin you guys the smaller three, whatever the case is. But I think that I can't wait to see the manifestation of you guys and you guys graduating to being the big three, the big five, the big whatever you guys are going to be. You guys are the generation that's going to come up right after them. You guys are going to be the superstars of this movement. And I'm going to be there 100% to back you up. Whenever y'all do movies, you already know the music is already done. Whenever you guys need anything, you already know it's done. I do want to say this to that rally. Shout out to my brother Rilla. But he photobombed me at that damn rally. And I didn't notice it until he posted his picture and I was in the background looking like I just came out of jail. But whatever. Shout out to that nigga. But I do want to say this.
Much love.
Shout out to Queen because had it not been for your queen, Brother Alpha, and you know what I'm saying because you was on the ground, the rally may have turned out a little different. So, and no one knows that. It's like a little inside thing, but I do want to salute her. I do want to take time to thank her because a lot of New York people weren't, there was a lot of talk before, the rally. It was a lot of talk and a lot of New York people and, came up there to defend and offend some people. And that wasn't the right thing to do. So I do want to, take my, send my apologies for that. But it was a great event and nothing went crazy. It was amazing and the New Yorkers didn't fuck it up this time. But I do want to say this. Again, I'm indebted to you, brothers. Brother Alpha, thank you for always showing love. Brother Afro, thank you for having me on your platform. Much love. Brother Beast, thank you for giving me knowledge on music every day that you always do. I'm indebted to you guys. I can't wait to the expo. I'll be there with less New York people this time, but I will be there. And again, I want to thank you guys for always, always, always telling people to stream my music. Every little thing helps. So I want to thank you guys. You guys consider yourself, you guys don't consider yourselves the big three. I do. I think that everything that you guys are putting out is very important, from the 5-hour broadcasts that Brother Beats does, which is killing, to the 20 minutes sometimes that Brother Afro may do. All of it is very important. And like I told you guys, you never know who's watching. And in between that, you got the two hours and the 3 hours that Brother Alpha does. But all of it is important. Keep your voice out there. Keep your voice active. Keep fighting the good fight. Shout out to my brother John Horse. He always gives good knowledge when he's up here. I'm always interested in listening to what he has to say. Shout out to all of these brothers, all of you brothers that, just have a spine, have a backbone, that want to speak. Use your knowledge and teach others. That's the best thing that we can do, is to teach the next generation. Don't be selfish. Do not hold that knowledge in. Find your niche and then teach through that niche. These three brothers up here chose broadcasting. I chose music. If someone wants to do movies, you do that. If someone wants to do acting, you do that. If someone wants to do paintings, you do that. Choose your niche and do that. Put all your energy, all your effort towards that. Anytime you draw a painting, have that in the back of your mind. Because again, if these brothers were to tell you every time they do a broadcast, in the back of their mind is, how could they empower their people? If you need a reference point, you can always reach out to these brothers. You can always get knowledge from the master teachers. They're available. One of my greatest moments at that rally was connecting Dr. Kaba with Brother Alpha and seeing him as, and I don't want to put your business out there, brother, but seeing him like a student looking up to a teacher, seeing him almost childlike, in a maze by this man. That's amazing. That's something that, you can't script. So again, that we had an amazing year from, the space that I did that was supposed to be a closed space, but ended up going viral. And again, I want to say this again. I made sure that I had Brother Alpha, Brother Afro on that stage to speak their piece, because they're an intellectual being and they needed to add something to that space. And I'm so happy that they were able to add that to that space. Obviously, Twitter took it down. You can go to D. Tudman's YouTube channel. It's right up there. It was a long space, but it was a necessary space. And it was a very important space for the time that we were in. A lot got done from that space. But that lets you know, family, whenever you're going to host a space, family, know the importance of your space. Okay? Do not host a space just to have, bullshit. Don't be having drama. Don't be having all of this, your name being pulled. No. Be about the business. If you're gonna if you're gonna speak on the business, be about the business and be professional when you do that. Be an adult. Let me say that. And be a man. I would say don't waste time. I mean, like I said, I don't think, I know Brother Beats and Brother Alpha do spaces at least once a week, but their spaces are not about nothing. They have topics that they're discussing. You know, no disrespect, but they're not here talking about Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion's ass. They're just not doing it. But, you know, it's always a hidden message behind it. It's always something empowering behind it. So again, family, follow in the footsteps of these brothers, follow in the footsteps of all of the brothers. Don't listen to the riffraff. Try to stay out of bullshit in 2023. And I promise you, family, in 2023, I will be much better. And you can actually hear my real voice. And shout out to you guys. I'll stay up for a little bit. But again, I'm a little under the weather. So if you guys got any questions, anything at all, you know where to find me. Speaking of, Brother Alpha, I'm gonna hit you up in the back channel, you know, on the phone. I got a announcement to make specifically to, like, you know, you, Brother Afro. I got an announcement to make to y'all, Brother Beats, you know, but we'll talk about that later off the stage. But much love to the family. I love all y'all. Y'all keep up the good fight. Think about what Jason Black said. Some people that go into 2022 with us, and think about this, real talk. The people that went into 2022 with us are not going into 2023 with us. I want that to sink in with y'all. The people that went into 2022 with us are not going into 2023 with us. Let that sink in one more time. Like Umar does. What you call him, Brother Alpha? What you call Umar again?
It's Dr. Kumar Vasquez.
Damn. The people that go into 2022 with us are not going into 2023 with us. And with that, I'm going to land. Thank you, guys.
All right.
I do want to make sure to say.
Real talk. You know, thank you, Brother Sage. That the one thing I will say is that you have always been, you know, you have always represented yourself as solid. And that is the one thing that I hope comes off from us as individuals, is that y'all just recognize we are what we are. There's no fluff. So y'all got a chance to meet Brother Afro. You got a chance to meet Black Alpha. I wish that I was able to be there. I do plan to be in Texas. You know, I got it because I got family in Texas anyway. So I plan to be in Texas in May. So to meet everybody that I wasn't able to meet. But just understanding, man, you dealing with genuine folks that really give a damn. And this is an internal care. This, like the brother Alpha said, I was like I'm between his 11th and 13th subscriber. Now, look at where he is now. When nobody was listening, he still had to keep doing it. Same thing with Afro Elite. When nobody's in your chat, you got to still keep going. And now what you see now is like, oh, it's not that they don't have nothing to say. It's just that they didn't have the avenue or lane, and then they carved it out. And, you know, yeah, I definitely did everything that I could to even assist. But I can't assist trash. I can only assist something that already got something going. So all I could do is, I mean, what good? It's not called an assist in basketball unless the person scores. That's just a pass. That's just an errant pass. It is not called an assist until that person scores. So when you assist your brothers, you making sure that the individuals around you are winning. And that's the important part. So, man, shout out to you, Brother Sage. And again, shout out to these two brothers on stage. And hey, man, looks like I'm having a device issue real quick. So, Brother Alpha, if you could kick me out of the co-host, and I'm gonna have to come back on as another from my other device.
Hey, thank you for the wisdom, bro.
Yeah, I got you, Zilla. It wouldn't be the first time we had to do that. Hold on one second, Lamar. I'm gonna get to you in a minute.
Okay, right.
Hey, let me say
that was gold.
Let me say this about my brother Sage, man. First off, y'all make sure you swing over to his page and check the links out, and y'all go ahead and stream his music. Pure fire, and it represents that FBA passion and soul. I'm telling y'all, you're gonna rock with it. I know I personally do. Big talk. Let me say this, man. I was there with my brother Sage, man. I chopped it up with him a whole lot at the rally, and I can genuinely say, man, this brother down to earth, this brother real. Like I said, I feel like I know this brother for a long, long damn time. You feel me? And I can personally say that he was there. On some positivity, but at the same time, reinforcement, man, to make sure that everything that we speak of and all our aspirations and dreams went right. You know what I'm saying? So we got to always represent and show a lot of love for people who do that. Like I said, my brother Afro and Zilla, man, we all like one big family. You know what I'm saying? And it's a family that didn't nobody sit down and say, we're going to be a family. We didn't write it down and say on Wednesday, we're going to all say that we just one big group. It wasn't like that. We all got together. We all clicked up by having like minds and just, clicking up. So every time you might see one of our chats, one of the brothers is in the chat, one of these spaces, the brothers in the chat. My brother Sage brought me up on that big, massive space he held. You feel me? And he brought me up on there, man. And I actually have a picture where it's me, Afro, Sage, brother Tariq Nasheed, our brother Jason Black, and we was all on the same panel, man. And I thank my brother for that, man, because that was a big moment. I feel like I had to be there, and my brother gave me that front row seat to all that, man. So like we said, salute to everybody. And everybody in the room, I see all these familiar faces, a lot of folks that we DM, we chat. Salute to you, Dark and Lovely. I see you. Everybody, we all click, man. We all just one big family, one big team. So that's the best part about it. But we going to keep it rolling. Afro, did you want to say anything and chime in, brother?
Yeah, I did. I want to thank Sage. First off, like Black Alpha said, if you guys have not checked out his music, you guys definitely need to. Me and him, we did a review of his music. Well, we did like a conversation where we got into, how you make the music as an independent artist. It's up on YouTube. You guys should check that out. And then he also has music as well too, so you guys can stream that on Spotify or wherever you guys listen your music. You guys can stream that, Apple Music and all that stuff. I want to thank him. I remember DMing him after that big space with Jason Black and Tariq Nasheed. I remember DMing. I'm like, dude, you literally just had like the most legendary space of all time. There literally has not been a space like that since nor before. That was like a once in a lifetime space that he had. And he made sure I'm sure there was thousands of people probably trying to get up there, and I'm sure he was very selective of who he allowed to get up there and speak. And that was like a moment of history. I mean, in 2022, we've had the rally for reparations. We had that big space. I feel like that was a moment in history that Sage allowed us to be a part of. So I am forever grateful for him to do that. I'm very appreciative of that, and that's what I wanted to add.
That space was amazing. Go ahead, Sage. It's on you, family.
Well, first, I wasn't going to bring that up, but I want y'all to see something. What Brother Afro just did was very humbling, because, again, that was something that I was going to keep between us. He did DM me saying that he was, very amazed by that space, and he wanted to say thank you. But, again, I want to reverse that on him and say thank you for not just coming into the room, for being genuine, not just for being like, first of all, just being a real person. When I seen him at the rally, he was all love. It was all love, all love. And from meeting Afro, I was able to meet Black Alpha because I didn't know how Black Alpha looked at the time. So he pointed me in a direction. Oh, Black Alpha's over here. Okay, boom. And then that friendship, obviously we spoke on spaces before, but we never seen each other in person. So, and again, that opened up everything. But I wanted to say that damn space got me up out the paint, because I always like to do things better and better, and I don't know how to top that. That's why I have not held the space yet. I don't know how to top that. I'm gonna have to bring Professor Black Truth in next time. Also, I'm gonna have to bring all three of them, and we're gonna have the State of the Black Union again. I'm working on it, and I will try to bring that in next time. But no, in all seriousness, that was not planned. That was just something organic, and I wanted organic people that I feel are from the soil to be a part of that. So again, I was happy to open the door. And if that space occurs again tomorrow, wink, wink, or it occurs again in the future, wink, wink, it will include all of you brothers, and so on and so on, because you've earned it, you deserve it, you put in the work, and you continuously are selfless for our people. And with that, I will forever thank you guys. And with that, I land. Thank you.
Shout out to you, brother. And one thing, let me just say real quick for me, for myself, and y'all might see me in some of these rooms. Y'all be like, "Hey, B Zilla, you can come up." Sometimes I'm just enjoying listening and being a spectator and listening to y'all build. And because usually in y'all's rooms, I don't have to come up and say nothing because everything that would run through my mind, y'all already done said. So I'm just enjoying. It's look at it this way. I enjoy not being the person on the mic, and I can sit here and work in my kitchen and cook a whole meal just listening to y'all. That shit is so super dope to me. It ain't funny. It makes my heart content.
Hey, let me say this, man. Since we chopping it up right now, man, you know, we got, like you said, we got about 24 hours, a little, you know, well over 24 hours. But as this year winds down, as my man 8Ball says, every year turn the book of life to a new page. Let me go back and kind of slightly like reminisce on some of the spaces. There was a space we held. And Sage, you had a mega space, family. But I'm telling you, in this space, family, you stole the show. We had a space. Zilla, you know what I'm talking about.
Don't do it.
It's
Don't
about
do it.
Michael
Don't
Jackson.
do it. Don't do it. Don't do
Yeah,
it.
boy, we going there tonight.
Don't do it.
We going there, family. And you know what? At the goddamn rally, I missed it, brother. I was like, damn, I was supposed to get my my quote, my phrase from Sage, man, but somebody was pulling my shirt and I didn't get the chance to do it. Queen told me later, she was like, you know, you missed it. We had a space on Michael Jackson. All right, everybody out there. And it was a good space because there was like a big drama space. Zilla, you know what I'm talking about. And so we was like, let's liven it up, man. And it's funny, Zilla, because a lot of folks having drama spaces, they still doing it, right? We had like one that turned that way, and then 2 days later, we got super positive. Anyway, somebody called in from a place in Africa, which we'll mention here in a second. And they was trying to talk about how Black American music is really from this place in Africa. And our brother Sage came on. First off, our brother Sage actually pulled out a real receipt and actually called in the relative of the person that this Congo person was trying to speak of. And then our brother Sage, I ain't saying you mocked him, brother. I'm not saying you did, family. But, you know, it kind of sounded like a little bit. But our brother Sage dropped the line, the Congo, which was I would say, what was it, repeated like 30, 40 times in the space by everybody. There was a time in that space after our brother said the Congo and was mocking this dude where the guy got so mad, he dropped himself off, came back, got dropped again, and we literally laughed at this guy for 5 minutes straight where didn't nobody say a word. Anytime someone tried to speak, we started laughing again. You ever laugh so hard that you can't even get the words out? That's exactly what happened. And then I took that same space and put it on my YouTube channel, and it got another 1,000+ views. All right. And then when you read the comment section, everybody is in it saying the Congo. So, and I can't say it like Sage. So that's why I'm going around it. I ain't even going to try to do it any disservice, family. But my brother Sage came and he stole the show on that whole one. And that the Congo guy will never be the same again. Do you remember that, Beatzilla? I know you do.
Man. Yeah, the jazz student, I think he said he was from New Orleans and his teacher was from the Congo, and because his teacher that he obviously was so enamored with had told him that all of this music, and Louis Armstrong, he said that his grandmother, there's a story that my teacher told me that when he was a little boy, his grandma told him, don't you ever forget where you come from. And that's the Congo.
The Congo. It's all you, Sage. Go ahead, brother.
I can't do it right now because I'm a little under the weather. And no, I do not for the people that's sending me DMs. I don't have COVID, so it's just a common cold. I'll be back to normal by 2 days from now. But I do want to say this. In that space, it was a gentleman from a country in Africa that said that Louis Armstrong was from Africa. You remember how we went through a whole 2-week period where they were trying to steal hip hop, they were trying to steal jazz, they were trying to steal a lot of things, and these brothers had a space, Black Alpha and Beatzilla, saying that all the foundational Black American artists that came from over here and their progress within music and how they were so legendary. And this dude came out saying that he knew Louis Armstrong, and Louis Armstrong is the wrong dude to do with me because he didn't know that at the time, but I know people that's in his family tree, in his lineage, in his bloodline directly. So one of my dudes, the dude that sings a lot on my tracks, he's his father is Louis Armstrong's nephew. So once the dude brought up Louis Armstrong, I asked him again, like, are you sure, about Louis Armstrong? And so I said, okay, let me call a descendant of Louis Armstrong that's alive today, that's my age, that's kicking, that knows all about, that has a lot of Louis Armstrong's instruments in his house. Okay, I want to say that. He has a lot of Louis Armstrong's instruments in his house. Okay, let's talk to him. So I called him on a space, and I could tell you guys could tell it was a call because you heard the phone, whatever the case is. And then he kindly answered and said, no, none of my family was from that country that, I'm not going to name right now. None of my family is from that country. So why are you telling lies about my family? And it hits home when you're talking to a direct descendant of someone. Imagine 30 years from now, someone talking to like one of Tariq's kids and somebody saying Tariq is from Senegalese or whatever. It hits home when you're talking to a direct descendant of that person. And that really set it off. Like, you guys are seriously out here lying, because this is a person that's in his bloodline, in his family. Okay, his father is named after Louis Armstrong, sir. So again, if you're gonna lie on someone, try to make it, try to lie on like Denmark VC or something, someone that we can't really reach a descendant of, or don't lie on someone that passed away not too long ago, because maybe his descendants, Louis Armstrong died in the 70s, so maybe some of his grandchildren or his nieces or whatever are still alive, and they can speak to that. They know exactly where their family member came from. But again, I think it was an amazing space. It was, someone got called out on their lie, and he ended up backing down. But it doesn't help when you lie, family. Just tell the truth in the beginning, and we can get to some type of understanding. And I think that's what came out of that space: how to break down lies methodically. And with that, I'm gonna land.
Big facts.
While I'm up here, I want to say, I'm sorry, brother. While I'm up here, I want to say shout outs to my brother One. I know he doesn't get a lot of recognition, but that is the other half of Aces, and that's the dude that's behind all the music, all the beat making. That's one talented motherfucker. I know he likes to sit down and listen more so than talk on spaces. He talks through the music, but I do want to shout out him. I want to shout out everyone that listens, streams, anything pertaining to Aces. I love you guys for that. Let's keep that going in 2023. We got a lot more coming. I promise you. There's a lot more on the way. And we have because I might lose some listeners with this. So when I have a very controversial song coming out, very controversial song that stems on the history of, my people and the history of what we come from this land. Now, some people may not like it, but we try to tell the truth, and we try to bring it up to modern day. It took a lot out of us to create. It drained a lot, but I think it was much needed, and I think it's about time, we told the truth on record. And I want to say, so stay tuned for that. That's coming shortly, early 2023. And we also have we also have a project coming out about spring 2023. So again, thank you always, Brother Afro, Brother Alpha, Brother Beast, for always telling people to stream the music. I can't thank you guys enough. Every space you have, I always hear you guys say it, stream his music. I love that. Thank you guys 10,000 times. Salute all of you. Thank you.
Salute to you, my brother. And like you said, it was a master class on how to break down liars. One thing I pride myself in being is what I've been called a bullshit detector, amongst other things. But I sometimes you just got to let people talk, and then you'll hear what their spiel is, because you don't want people to self-correct too soon, because then they'll just start going into how to protect their lie. Now, I want to hear it all. Just let it roll. Then we can deal with the bullshit after that. Because a lot of the things that we are dealing with and facing right now is about stunning our growth and stunning our empowerment. I mean, think of this. We are living in a country that there was a time to where it was illegal for us to read. What does that mean? That means that they do not want this particular group of people being enlightened. They do not want you on a higher vibration. They do not want you on a higher wavelength of thinking, or especially operating, more importantly, operating together collectively without any leader. They definitely do not want that. So, yeah, shout out to you, Brother Sage. And, of course, again, shout out to all of y'all. Back to you, my brother.
Hey, Afro family, what was the name of the space you had that we said some people took the title from? You know what I'm talking about?
Well, first off, I think it was more than one, but it was I remember because I brought it up yesterday. It was the do's and don'ts of being on code. I think that's the one. Because
is that up on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube now. That was I think that's my biggest space I've ever made. And that really set the trend of what on code means. Because after that, then everybody was like, well, being on code means you got to do this and do this and do that. I'm like, well, that's just kind of like a difference of opinion. That's not necessarily being on code or off code. But with that created like a ripple effect on Twitter, where now everybody's talking about, well, what is the code? What is the code? I was just pretty much talking about the principles of how Black people treat other Black people as far as being on code. This is how you be on code, and this is who you associate with, and this is who you don't. Just kind of the basics, the fundamentals, just for the people who are just joining the movement and might not be as well read as us. That's kind of what I did, but I didn't know it was going to have the effect that it did.
Yo, that was like that. Since we're going back in spaces, because I'm sitting here reminiscing on my favorite spaces that I attended. That one right there, man, that was fire. I've actually watched that. I watched it live and I watched it on the YouTube channel. That one. You had another one right after that. Well, it wasn't right after that. Damn, I can't remember the name, brother. It's on your YouTube channel because I literally just seen it. That space as well. I think I spoke in that space, if I'm not mistaken. But I noticed with my brother Afro, he was making spaces that were based on actual productivity and spaces that were based on actual, as he said, principles and things that were really going on, like intellectually in terms of the code and in terms of the infrastructure of how we get down. Where a lot of people at that time, they were just hitting, requests and just babbling. They was just talking nonsense and the spaces was trash. And I always felt like my brother Afro, he was really making spaces that were real genuine. There could have been a massive drama filled space going on. And then you could see Afro be over here making a real principled space. And I would always yep, I'm going to my brothers. And that's kind of how I always got that sense all the time. I'm telling y'all, especially during the summer. Because it was drama left. It was damn loving hip hop all damn day. And my brother was literally just making real strong, positive ones. And that's why we would all attend and we click up. Go ahead, Zilla.
No, I actually hit it by accident. I was picking my phone up. But no, it just dawned on me. Remember when you hit me, bro? I was like, truth be told, man, if it ain't Afro or Tariq, I'm really not in spaces. So shit, if you want to, if we want to do it, I'd only really rock it with you. Because outside of Afro or Kid Gravity doing something, hey, fam, I could trust y'all spaces ain't going in this direction. And then, of course, Sage's space, that shit, if you just look at the screenshot, I got a screenshot of that shit. That, Sage's space right there is that's just a poster for the ages right there. So, man, after shit like that, what? I'm sorry, I just don't got it. I'm too old for the drama, fam. I like that intellectual shit. If it's raw, if it's put together nicely, as long as it's on the intellectual positive tip, that's where I'm at. So I'm like, shit, I'm finna, Afro having a space. Let me go fuck with that. Then that's pretty much, it's just that simple. I know he's about something positive, so this is where I'm going. I see what this is about. I'm just finna go over here and go fuck with Afro.
Hey, you remember that space we had, Zilla? It was one of our regular space. I don't even remember the name of it, but it turned into fucking Wall Street and banking, and people was talking about investments. I didn't even know, because I'm gonna be honest with you. There were some folks that was way more intelligent than me in that subject. So I was just sitting there, yep, I was sitting there taking notes. That space took like a complete different turn. And that's one thing I realized about my brother Afro, my brother B-Zilla. Our spaces will all take on a life of their own. Like, it depends. Like, the title can be whatever it is. The title can be about reparations. We may end up talking about damn Michael Jackson. The title can be about goddamn Prince. We may end up talking about, fucking World War I. Like, it is what it is. All of our stuff always has some type of significance when we allow everybody to come on and talk. So it just turns into like regular madness. You remember that space, brother?
I do. And you know what's so funny is it's just a reflection of how everything is intertwined. I mean, you talk about the multi-generational intertwinement from even our adversaries, coming down from the inception of people being on this land all the way to this day. So when we get into these spaces, yeah, like our topics and titles literally mean different things to different people because our experience as foundational Black American freedmen is so unique that, I mean, you could write a Bible just on Black folks' lives in America, and that could be a collection of like 1,000 different books of hundreds and hundreds of chapters. So yeah, we different, man. To keep it simple, we different.
Yo, man. Hey, you know what? You just brought up something. Now, I'd be remiss to not bring this up, family. I forgot all about it. Brother, Zilla, Sage, Afro, we were all on. Remember, we put together that FBA Freedmen United space, and it was like the all-star cast, man. And y'all three were like obviously the first one. Zilla, I was on a beach in Florida, like literally sitting there on the beach calling you way on the West Coast, man. You hear the damn tide turning and everything. I'm sitting there like, yo, we got to do this, man. You remember Zilla? We put that together. We crafted that for like 2 weeks, and we was going. You remember that? We broke it down. I hit up Afro, I hit up Sage. Both of these brothers immediately, as soon as I asked them, was like, yo, I'm there. It wasn't even no long ass paragraph. It wasn't a sentence. It was just like, hey, boom, that's it. I'm there. They also assisted me in getting a couple other people because I had to use their connections. So it was like really like me leaning on my brothers, man. So I always appreciate that. That space was so big, man. When I woke up that morning, I was like nervous. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this got to be big. I don't want Twitter janking this one up at all. You know what I'm saying? They did some whatever, but we pushed through it. And then that did like thousands of views or whatever. And then, I put it on my YouTube. It did another like 3,000. You know what I'm saying? But just like the fact that we could all build together in 2022. And I could call my brothers up and my brothers would just be there for me immediately and crafting the ideas, man. That shit meant a lot to me. And I appreciate y'all for that. Y'all already know I've told y'all that before, but that's when I was really like, okay, the power of this movement is something, very, very strong, man. And it was great to craft it. And then to sit back and listen to the finished product, knowing where we started from, man, that was crazy, family. Sage, man, you remember when I hit you up, brother? You remember that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I remember when we first had the conversation about the United Space. And again, I think it turned out to be an amazing space. A lot of information was given out. I was taking a lot of notes that day. So again, I can't thank you enough just for inviting me to be one of the speakers to speak on something that was that important to our culture. And I would say, again, when you have these spaces, use those as a tool to learn and then take what you learn and use that to teach others. See, the issue with that is that, I don't know, Afro talked about someone taking his spaces. Here's the problem. Here's the thing with Afro that people don't like. Afro follows the code to the T. And then people try to remix it. They try to, change into their own thing. And then that doesn't necessarily work. You can't change the code that was already created by others to fit you and what you feel is right. And, for example, when you think of, the term B1, when you follow that to the T, notice who wasn't correct and notice who was correct on how exactly the term should be applied. And that's the problem. When you follow something to the T, sometimes not everybody likes it. Not everybody likes to get called out on their bullshit, But I think as an adult, if you're wrong on something, just say, I'm wrong. All right, let's move on. And that's how things should work out as adults. You don't have to, go into like a feminine back and forth, especially not with your brother. If you're going to have that energy, save it for somebody else. And you know what I'm talking about. Don't save it for your brother. And that's how I choose to live my life. I hope that other people will mimic that, because we don't need the riffraff. Everything should be united. That's why My brother tried to throw the United States to make sure we have an understanding, to bring everything full circle and let you guys know that, there is no difference, even though later on in the year they tried to make it a difference between FBA and Freedmen. There is no damn difference. I don't give a damn what you call it, okay? It doesn't matter. Let's keep the message pertinent. Let's keep the message, on par to what people can actually learn something from. I don't give a damn about what you call it, okay? As long as you don't say that we don't have a history and we don't have a culture. That's all you have to not say, okay? So, because again, you have brothers and sisters. I can't forget about the ladies. I'm so sorry. You have brothers and sisters that are pointing out and showing you our culture, our lineage, things like that. So again, take these messages and go to legit people. Let me say that. Go to legit sources where it matters. Like brother, Professor Black Truth says, where you get your information from. It matters, people. It really does. You can't just get your information from anywhere, because if you take these talking points that you gain from some of these brothers online and you use them in the real world, they don't even have a rebut for it. They don't. Like, use a talking point that you would hear from someone and then see if it has a rebut to it. Okay? So, and I want to throw this out, a little caveat, a little funny thing. Brother Beast, you ain't shit for that thing you just tweeted with that dude that's crying about Tariq. You ain't shit, man. I just want to throw that out there. I just watched it. Yeah, you ain't shit. All right. And with that, I'm gonna land.
Hey, see, here's the thing, and shout out to my brother Torian Rain Reloaded, who's doing his yearly wrap up right now. Here's the benefit, and this is why I love us so much. Family, we're going live right now. I could catch my brother's replay, and that is taking up time of entertainment that I could be watching some bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? Man, this is the greatest time ever. If you have been starved for Black empowerment, man. But at the same time, you got these suckers that just been starved for Zaddy Sack. And, with that dude right there, he was over there hoping, just like Roland Martin, he was hoping for a job. And, yeah, man, I'm going to get over here. So he thought that, because when I found out that there was a K-Hive, I was like, wait. Hey, y'all know this shit exists? Hey, have y'all heard about this? So, yeah, we went ahead and put some attention on that and got that shit up out the paint. So he upset. But here's the point. We not getting behind no Kamala Harris. We're not worried about no Democratic Party. We are only simply worried about our own interests as a group, whatever that looks like from whatever party, if it has to be us eventually anyway. So, again, that's kind of what they've always were upset at, as about us getting that unity. But yeah, too raw, too real. You was too raw, too moist. And the hurt is showing in your eyes, fam, because, man, and don't blame Tariq, because, you call me, Torian Rain Reloaded, and Professor Black Truth, and also Tariq Nasheed out. So you actually try to get at all of us. So let's not make it all about Tariq now. Let's come on, keep it real. Well, I know I wasn't really important and worth nothing. Hell no, you wasn't. Roland Martin wasn't. He ain't getting a job. Byron Allen got billions of dollars and is losing it, having to pay people to come attend a janky award show of a shit that ain't even been in existence over a year. They up there proud taking awards for the Griot Awards, family. New Black Media, the Grassroots, we have thoroughly set the tone, and these people are spending buku hundreds of millions of bucks to combat the likes of the no-string budget. I can't even call it a shoestring budget, family. This is a no-string budget movement of just the grunts and the people. But like I said, as history dictates, when the people on the ground are the loudest voice, the world feels it. Back to you, my brother.
Mind if I jump in here for 1 second, Brother Alpha? Because I do want to take this time, because this person is in the room. I want to shout out quiet superstar D. Tudman. She doesn't make a lot of noise. She doesn't make a lot of, make her presence known, but she always pops up in rooms, and she always is there for us when we miss spaces. She is there. So again, if y'all, in the audience in the listening section, throw up a heart for that sister there. I know she be battling her health thing, and I know we all pray for her, but Sister D, thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for your tireless effort, work, everything that you do. Thank you for catching spaces that we are not in. That it'd be 4 a.m. I don't know what the hell you're doing up, but your ass is up, and you're catching all of this. And again, we are indebted to you. I want to thank you so much for just being an inspiration to a lot of FBAs, a lot of Freedmen. We love you. All of our love sent to you, sister. So thank you so much for your work. Please continue that work going into 2023. And with that, I'm
Hey, with that being said, D Tubman does have a Cash App.
Yes.
So yeah, don't be stingy, y'all. She been putting in the work. She deserve it. She got a Cash App. I think it's $ D Tubman or something like that. Y'all can find it. Let's not be stingy.
Y'all better go to that Cash App right now. Y'all better go load it up. Y'all better go ahead right now and go load it up. Yes, we love you, D, all the way. Yes, we do. 100,000,000%.
Can you put your Cash App in the comment section so we could add it to the Jumbotron, sister? By the way, family, she is the closing day of New Black Media Appreciation Month. So, yeah, sister, if you can go ahead and put your Cash App in the comment section, I'll go ahead and add it to the Jumbotron.
You know
Peace,
what they
Plow.
say. People that do not support their advocates will not have any. So again, please, it doesn't matter what you could donate, you guys. I'm gonna do so myself. Y'all make sure y'all do something for Sister D. Cause just remember that time when you woke up 8 a.m. and Tariq had, or Jason, whoever had like a space or something that you missed, but her ass caught it. So again, thank you for your work, and the family. We owe you a debt, sister. Thank you.
There's something else that I wanted to add that Sage was talking about. As far as being on code, we have to understand that everybody might, even despite the fact that we know the code, we still might have differences of opinion. Like, for instance, there are people who feel as if, and this is, both being on code, this is 100%. There's people who feel as if to be on code, you need to, as far as politics go, to be on code, we should run for politics or whatever. To be on code, a lot of people feel as if you should run for the opposite party to kind of spite the other party. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, and people brought this up to me, I'm not going to vote for one party to spite the other party. There's some people are like, we should vote for the Republicans to spite the Democrats. I kind of disagree with that. I'm just, whoever's for black people, that's who give my vote. I'm not going to vote for because to me, that's voting for the lesser of two evils. But see, that's just a difference of opinion or strategy that can be talked over. That's not something that you have to break a relationship up for. That's not something you have to create a space and quote unquote call people out, put people on blast. You don't really have to do that. That's something that you guys can have a conversation and get to the bottom of. Or if you guys disagree, you guys can just kind of just agree to disagree. And you see that happens to me on a lot of my spaces that I used to host. There would be people that would come up and they would say some things and I'd be like, well, thank you for your opinion. And because I would disagree, but I don't even have to tell them I disagree because it's not that big of a deal. I'm like, oh, okay, well, thank you for your opinion, and just keep it pushing. Every single disagreement doesn't have to wind up being a 200, 300 man room where y'all are going back and forth and, oh, your mama ain't shit and all that. That does not have to be that way. It should never be that way, to be honest. It should always be, especially now, pretty much everybody can DM anybody. And now just text me your number or something like that and let's have a call. I'm going to tell you, there's been a few people I've gotten into it with this year. And y'all don't know about it because I never let y'all know about it. We called on the phone, we talked it out, and everything's straight now. and I never let that go on Twitter. The other person never let that come out on Twitter, and everything was cool. And that's the way, hopefully in 2023, that's the way things are going to start being. Everybody's not going to drag everything out on Twitter. Now, I'll pass the mic there.
I'm actually glad when I don't know. People be like, "Hey, did you hear about this beef? Did you hear about huh?" No, I didn't even know they had a beef. Hey, man, I'm glad I don't know. I've seen enough bullshit in my day. I'm glad when I missed it. Ooh, wow. I'm glad. I'm glad I did, bro.
Hey, man, I love this space, by the way, family. This done just turned into, as they always do, a big-ass FBA block party, just a celebration of everything we doing. It's actually crazy to sit here and hear you guys speak about, this whole year. And the more I look at it, me and, what was it about? I don't know, a month ago, Afro, remember me and you was talking. I think we talked till like 2 a.m, but on the phone, and we were speaking. We said this last year felt like 10 years in one. It does not feel like it was just 1 year, man. It was just like a whole gang of years all comprised just in 1 year. So that lets you know that we've been doing a hell of a lot, and we never lost pivot either. So that's telling y'all something. We moving fast, we moving quick, but we sturdy. We stay on the ground and we make up our mind and we go, and we've been making a lot of things happen. While my brother's in here, man, I got to salute Kid Gravity right down here. I see Kid Gravity, man. I don't know if you can, hear us right now, Gravity, because I know you might be at work, brother. But I got to salute Kid Gravity, man, because Kid was the first person I really ever worked with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew everybody else, but Kid was the first one to hit me up. Was like, yo, let's do something. I think my first space, Kid was hosting it. And then we did like the Black Alpha debates and everything, and Kid was like the moderator, sounding like he got a future in that shit. Man, they should have hired you for Jeopardy, brother. They should have hired you, brother, because you got a goddamn good future in that shit, family. So shout out to my brother Kid Gravity, man. Y'all make sure y'all, subscribe to him. That's a real brother who's a B1. He doesn't infringe on FBA policies like another guy that likes to speak on FBA policies, but he's not from America, and he likes to speak on people that, Zilla, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, the guy, he likes to infringe sometimes and everything. But shout out to Kid Gravity, man. He's a good example this year where everybody was talking about you can't be black unless you're from America and all that nonsense people was talking about. All that stuff we cleaned up. Kid Gravity always represents like B1. And letting you know that if you're on code, like we speak of, it doesn't really matter, man, because the code knows no jurisdiction, man. So salute to my brother, Kid Gravity. Big salute to you, family. John Horse, it's on you, my brother.
Yeah, what's good? My bad. I had to drop down from earlier. But yeah, man, I just wanted to say, man, I want all of us on here to win, bro. I want everybody on here to win. I just want us to, this new year, I just want everybody to win, bro. I want us to make, whatever endeavors that y'all got going on, bro. I just want us to all win. You know what I'm saying? I think we have to really push that in our culture. Like, no matter what, like our people, got going on, bro. I want them to win. I want y'all to make as much money, as y'all possibly can, within our community, bro. I just want y'all to win. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if y'all get richer than I do. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see y'all win, bro. And that's how we all have to utilize that as a part of our culture, no matter what, bro. You see one of us winning, bro, like that's a good thing. I live, you know what I'm saying? Like I just want everybody in here to win, and yeah, I just kind of, just want to just pretty much just say that. I just want us to win by any means necessary, win.
To answer Brother John, I would say the fact that they're speaking about reparations on federals and state levels, brother, we are winning. So just keep doing what you're doing, Brother John. I shouted you out earlier for the knowledge that you give. And again, if push the next person forward, we all can win together. Everyone can win. Help whatever people are doing. Again, a little something as like subscribing to, Brother B, subscribing to Afro, subscribing to, Brother Alpha. That little thing helps, dropping a like on your video. Even if you're not going to be able to listen to it right then and there, dropping a like on that video when they start would help the algorithm of their message getting out more. You're magnetizing the message. You never know. Streaming one song can magnetize a message. So again, guys, listen. We can all do it together. You can all win together. You don't have to, that crabs in the bucket shit, we need to leave that back in antebellum. Okay? We need to all come up together. And again, I love the family. I'm going to support any which one of y'all that I can in any which way I can. So again, I want to say shout out to y'all. Shout out to my brother John. Shout out to everybody up here. And with that, I'm going to land.
Yeah, I want everybody to become as wealthy as possible. You know what I'm saying? Like the Chinese, they have that one saying, I forgot how they say it, but they want literally everybody in their group to get rich. You know what I'm saying? I want that for us, bro. I want everybody in here to get rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. Don't matter. Like, I just want everybody in here to win. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I want us to do business with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know a lot of people talking about moving back down south for like political power. We need to also, you know what I'm saying, focus on getting that black economy popping. Because once you get that black economy popping, that's when the real power, we can really start divvying that power out. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, in 2023, let's get that black economy popping. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want us to make Dr. Claude Anderson very, very proud. I don't want him to leave this earth in vain, bro. Like, I really want, you know what I'm saying, to make Dr. Claude Anderson proud of us. Before he leave here, I want him to see, it's like, yeah, he can pass on knowing, oh yeah, they got it. They gonna get it. That's all I want. And
I want to personally make Dr. Claude Anderson a liar. You know, I want. He says that his books will never be in schools. I want us to put those books in schools. I want to make this man a liar. He said that majority of black people will never read his books. I want majority of the black people to read Powernomics. I want to make him a liar before he leaves. And with that, I'll end.
And that's a righteous cause. That's a righteous one. That's a righteous reason to make someone look or appear dishonest. And I can second that one, brother, because and we've spoken about this in our spaces. I think Brother Sage and John Horst was on the stage at the time. We need to strive for our lasting the elders that are still here, we need to show them as much progress as possible, showing them that their work was not in vain. We are here and we're able to do so. So we have the Minister Farrakhan's and the Dr. Claude Andersons and a lot of these other elders that have worked behind the scenes tirelessly throughout the years doing different things, even down to the nurses who are opening free practitioner services to the community just based on the love of the community. Because I shout out Mariah Taylor from my own city who's done such like things. So I would love, and I think we should all have it on our heart to make sure that these people close their eyes out of this world, seeing that what they thought was impossible is actually coming to reality. And it should make your heart feel good. If you really truly holding your ancestors' spirits within inside of you, this should be beating out your chest to make this happen. You feel what I'm saying, brother?
Man, 110%. I want everybody to do this. If you get the opportunity, this is something I always do. Hopefully it works for you as well. Go and watch an old documentary about the foundational Black American experience in this country. You feel me? There's plenty of them. Go watch Hidden Colors. There's plenty of them. Go and watch that. Watch several of them. Watch them back to back to back if you got to, and just absorb that we're playing our role in our generation, in our era, and start looking at things from a categorical level. When you have the indigenous era, then you have slavery, you have Reconstruction, you have the civil rights era, then you got that era in between the civil rights, the 80s and the 90s, with some of us, early 2000s, some of us were born and, came up. I want you to look at all of that and just, spend a couple days, watch it with your kids, watch it with your family, your wife, your husband, whoever. Just watch it and absorb it. And I'm telling you, I swear to y'all, you're going to wake up the next day and you're going to have so much energy because you're going to say, damn, I'm not in a time machine. I'm not living in the civil rights era. I'm living in my version of that. I can go affect this right now. And the fact that people are going to look back on this era years from now, I'm talking 50, 100 years from now. How do you know? Because we right here on the internet, on Twitter, in the Twitter space, something that did not exist in the 1990s, the 80s, the 60s. And we're sitting here talking about their eras. You feel me? We're sitting here talking about the Huey Newtons, the Martin Luther Kings. We're talking about the, Kathleen Cleavers. We're talking about the Fred Hamptons. We have the ability to look back on them, where somebody in the future is going to look back on us. And I genuinely, truly, sincerely believe in my heart of hearts that people are going to look back on this era and say, that is the era right there where the game changed. That's the era where we literally went from here to there. We went to the next level. You understand what I'm saying? And I believe that wholeheartedly. And if you sit back and you watch this in a historical level, you can see the things that we've done. And I'm telling you, you're going to wake up tomorrow and go. I'll sit here and I'll watch the documentary about the Black Panther Party. I'm up ready to go in the morning. You feel me? I'll watch something about Martin Luther King, the Deacons of Defense. I'm ready to go in the morning. You understand? Malcolm X, Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'm ready to go in the morning, because it's not like watching a movie where it's some shit that's make believe. This is real. This is real. So our, job is to turn our dreams into realities. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. Just understand that you taking a part of this, and eventually you may be sitting down one day and your grandkid will be sitting on your lap and they're going to say, yo, what was it like to be a part of the reparations era? What was it like to be a part of the FBA era? The Freedmen era, or whatever, coin that this gets termed as. But at the end of the day, that's what it's going to be. And we are all playing a role in it. And I think we're doing a goddamn good job too, facing everything, because we didn't have the baton passed to us. Anybody right now, the older generation, they kept that baton. They didn't really give it to us. And I'm not talking about everybody from the older generation. I'm talking about the majority of them. They didn't give it to us. So a lot of things, we've been like a kid on the island. We had to teach ourselves, feed ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? And build ourselves. And we've done a damn good job of it. And we've picked the people who are on it. So as we sit here and we celebrate the Dr. Claude Andersons, remember one day we're going to be that. We're going to be that. And then we're going to say that Dr. Claude gave us that energy and we were able to push it down the line. Minister Farrakhan gave us that energy. We was able to push it down the line. Kaba, say, hey, you already mentioned it, man. Kaba, when I talked to Kaba at the rally, like, I have a picture of that man and me. You feel me? And I told him, I listened to him when my daddy died. I sat down and talked to this man. And I told him, I said, brother, I used to listen to you when my father died, and it got me through every single day. And that man looked me in my eyes and was like, yo, it's all on you, brother. You the shining light. And I'm going to carry that with me forever. So at the same time, what I'm also going to carry with me forever is this lineage, heritage, and culture, and know that we all playing a role right now that something's going to be talked about tomorrow. So as they say, every year we turn the book of life to a new page. So we got to make it a good one, because our story is still being written. Our story isn't dry. The ink's not dry yet. All right. We are still writing it. So we got to make it a good one. And I have, without a shadow of a doubt, 1,000,000%, fuck that, infinity faith that we're going to get done everything that we want to get done, because we are who we are. And that is foundational Black American freedmen, untouchable, unbreakable, unmatched. I'm going to send it to you, my brother Afro.
I just want to say, remember, Black Alpha, when we were at the rally and somebody took up, and I remember that somebody took a picture and they said, imagine how this is going to look 20 years down the line. That one single picture. That leads us to that. To me, that was something like, I don't know why I got the image when he said it. And I'm not saying that I'm on that level or we're on that level. But to me, I got the image in my head that the picture of Malcolm X and Dr. King, when they met for the first time, and they took that picture. They took a couple pictures together, and how that one single picture, how powerful that picture is. Because there's a lot of people who try to make us feel as if you have to pick between one or the other. And you can tell towards the end of their lives together, where they were both alive at the same time, they reconciled. They were willing to work together. So you don't have to pick between the two. That's a powerful and an iconic picture. And you don't have any pictures like that. And when I saw that, I'm all like, can you imagine how this is going to look like when we actually get reparations, how we're going to look? This is us before we got reparations. This is the people. These are two of the people, not saying we're the only two, but salute to everybody. But these are the people who were fighting for reparations. This was the first reparations rally. Like, that is history right there in the making. And I can't feel anything but gratitude for the fact that I can be a part of that. I can't feel anything but blessed to be a part of this era right now, the reparations era, the FBA era, the era where we delineate so much so, not discouraging the B1s who are not FBA, but we're delineating all of the on code people out of the mix, so we can focus, we can home in on the people who really want to progress, who really want Black empowerment. So we can actually dismantle this system and replace it with a system of justice. And then once we save the world, and I honestly, genuinely believe we can and will do that, when we save the world, we're going to look back at that and be all like, yep, that was us marching to save the world right there. Or even if we don't get a chance to look at that picture, our kids or our grandkids will be able to look at that picture. like that was a beautiful moment to me. I literally didn't want to leave. I was so in good spirits. I wanted to take pictures with everybody. I'm like, hey, can I take a picture with you and your baby? It was I just felt so much love. But you know what I'm saying? I just want to say I appreciate everything that's happened this year. Everybody I've met this year. There's so many people that I'm going into 2023 with that I didn't go into 2022 with. Now, unfortunately, there's some people that I have to leave in 2022, and that's fine. That's progression. Sometimes you need to leave. You got to cut the fat off. And that's one of the things that we've been learning to do. We've been learning to cut the fat off. I know fat tastes good sometimes, but you got to cut it off for your health. So we've been cutting the fat off. And now we've been getting better. We're more premium, more not responsible, but kind of more responsible, more intelligent, more articulate, more powerful. We've evolved. It's like a caterpillar going into the cocoon and becoming a butterfly. So I'm very grateful to have that moment, to live in this moment. And I'll pass the mic there.
Real talk, brother. Living in the moment. And one thing I can honestly say is this movement is different than others because in years past, think of like you had the Nation of Islam going against the so-called civil rights movement at the time. So they were trying to pit one group against the other. And that really isn't so much so. There's just literally one unified movement. And that's why they had to kind of manufacture a new opposition of reparations in 2022. We did not manufacture our opposition for our reparations. They did. So they knew what they were doing. That's how we got in this conversation of who we're hating, and all of a sudden we're a hate group looking for reparations. This all literally happened within 12 months. And the only thing that changed is the fact that we weren't going away. So you had to do everything you could in your power to make sure you stifle our voices. But hey, family, I just got to give you your round of applause and flowers. When I'm not on Twitter, when Black Alpha ain't on Twitter, when Afro Elite ain't on Twitter, y'all are at work. So salute to all of y'all that combat for this code, combat for this empowerment, and for combat for reparations. There isn't just the people behind the camera, people behind the mic, people on platforms. It is the person who is going to a 9-to-5 every day, just doing their day job, knowing that, you know what, this is crap. I should have my reparations. And then you going and fighting for it, letting politicians knowing that you exist, letting your local representation know that you exist and your voice is here to be heard. Shout out to all of you, because without you, this movement is impossible. But always remember what that pantyhose wearing cross-dresser J. Edgar Hoover was talking about. What he was saying is, this is the biggest threat. Because what does that say though? Because let's put it in perspective. National security of America resides on white supremacist oppression of us. If our unity is the biggest threat to it, then this country is founded on oppression of us. I would love to hear someone make the excuse on why we don't deserve reparations after that. That would be beautiful to see. But before we get to the hands, Black Alpha, did you want to chime in on that real quick, brother?
Yeah, family. You put that. Both of y'all brothers put that very, very clear, man. And I'm loving it. This is the reparations era, like we said, Freedmen era, FBA, however you want to call it. You know, one thing I got to do, I got to send a major salute to our beautiful, beautiful Black women. You feel me? I got to, because you have so many people out here who are always trying to speak on behalf of our sisters. And what I have seen is that our sisters are riders. I already knew it, but now the world's knowing it, and they seeing it front row seat. This sisters right here. Shout out to both Dark and Lovelies, Miss Giselle. I see you, D. Tubman, all the way down the screen. If I don't see you, because I don't want to scan down and Twitter freezes me up. But you know who you are, and I know who you are, and the whole world know who you are. Shout out to our Black women. Every episode of my Black Alpha Cast, everybody who knows me, I always say the brothers and sisters, the kings, the queens, the goddess and gods. And I say it all collectively because that's what it is. We all know that there's always this gender thing. Look at that stuff they did with Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. What that last for 2 days? Because it didn't penetrate our circle. It didn't penetrate our circle. Maybe some drama heads got into that, but y'all know damn well that's what they use to always split us. But we stronger together, and we know that. That gender war shit does not exist in our circle. It does not exist. It's crazy that they can try to sell that shit all the time to the whole world. But when it gets to our doorstep, that shit is canceled. We don't go for that. So that's why I tell people all the time, man, the brothers and sisters, the kings and queens, the goddess and gods, we stand united, we stand together, and we are stronger than ever. So salute to all of my beautiful foundational Black American women every day, all day, and twice on Sundays. We know what we about, and everyone else knows it because they watching us in real time. So I want to say that is another thing that the year 2022 has proved. Be honest with you, I think 2022 is a nail in the coffin for a lot of those gender war people, and we don't let them hijack our movement no more with their fake divisiveness. We stand together and we stand strong. So as I say, salute to the Black man, the Black woman. But I got to tell everybody like this, the Black family is what they're afraid of the most. And then when you next to your sister or that sister next to that brother, man, they shaking in their boots and we gonna keep their ass scared. I am Spirit. You don't have your hand up, but I know you were in here first. You can hear me. You go ahead and unmute yourself. All right, yo, there you go.
FBA, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Floor is yours.
Man, I live in here, man. North Florida and living ain't never been so beautiful. I mean, at the end of it all, this is about living in the moment. So we got to break what controls us. And until we break what controls us, we can't create fully as humans, you know, as people. You know, so, you know, the chaos creates currency. So why does it concern creates a way of communication? Because at the end of the day, we could go on and lose time about something that made you feel bad or took from you, but it's never been for you. You know, we've been a nation of people that's been learned and taught from the wrong. We learn from what not to do instead of what to do. You know, and I tell you, at the end of the day, we develop these words that frustrate us, but we don't develop words that develop us and that drives us. So we are in control. We got to know our power as people in the presence. We got to know our enemy. And guess what? I'm an old G.I. Joe guy. And there was a saying at the beginning and the ending of every episode, knowing is half the battle. And when we know the battle, we know how to win a war. We got to wage war on the whole world, hold the whole world accountable for them not coming to change our condition. But they got rewarded in participating for the wrong. Yeah, and they always say, hey, that happened in your country. But hey, guess what? You got grants and loans and benefits from our resources. So at the end of the day, I'm going to take you to court. I'm going to hold you in check about your participation. Because at the end of the day, when some other country wage war on you, you're going to come to me about for my currency. You know what I'm saying? So we got to ask ourselves a question is, how do we spend our time? We spend our time telling or talking, or we spend our time speaking and walking. You know, I'm a child of God. God said he made me in his image, and he told me how to relate to him is speaking the truth and what? Walking in the spirit. So we ain't speaking the truth, you know, it's kind of more of a sacrifice than a spirit. You coming up with a solution. No, I need you to sacrifice all the way around the table. I need you to take something to the grave that money can't buy. You know what I'm saying? You're respecting your dignity. And that's something that you know you have, and you know you can leave here, and guess what? Jesus ain't never been to heaven, and his daddy was a damn DJ, and he had a damn VIV pass. Why the hell you want me to go to goddamn heaven? You know, there's nothing worse than heaven to make a man feel like he don't belong on earth. Black Lives Matter and all this crazy shit. Man, we are the first people that walk this damn earth. And it's all been about spells, speaking. So guess what? We got to get the speaking and creating things that reflect them in our vision, that we all know the meaning of that. Because they control the problem, but the problem becomes a pain when it starts producing. So we're going to be the problem. I'd rather be the bottom guy. I'll be that bad guy. Because guess what? Now we got your attention. We got your focus. We know you make profit off our pain. You know you don't produce healing. We know you don't produce, you don't have a ton of it. They don't have a vision, a long-term investment for us. So this is why I feel about what's rightfully owed to us. We need to use that to our advantage. Market our pain. Everybody else bought into it, so now we're going to sell them back to business. Make reparations a stock. Sell shares to these people that know that we've been through shit. How much you really concerned? We're gonna hit you in the pocket. Make you pay for that. Make you pay for that feeling. We're gonna find out how much you mean. And this is the only way we're gonna get our attention with money. Money do not know money. Money knows interest. So once we strike that interest because we're asking for money, now we control the narrative. We are no longer niggas. We're kingers. We narratives. We creative like we've always been. It's been up to us to create, and we can't forget how they treat us and what we have done. The way they operate is our fault because we taught them. We taught them how to treat us this way. We allowed them to get away with all the lessons and the laws. Breaking, never to leave with law. P-bargain rate is 99.9%, and that's their business. Nothing in the world should be that high and everybody ain't happy. I'm sorry. People go to prison for things they can't pay for, not because of the problem or whatever the court decides. At the end of the day, it's about that money. We can't change and establish how you die. We'll never be able to control how you live. I mean, at the end of the day, we know we can lead this motherfucker because at the end of the day, they control the information. They can put down on us and get away with it and create a whole narrative about why they did what they did. They always reporting what blacks did. They always show the image of a bad guy and there's got to be black label to it. It's always about money. Even Black Friday is about company. It's black because we want you to get your money. Everything that involves black is business. The BBB, Better Business Bureau. That's bullshit. This is the Blessing Buildings Bureau. You hear me? Ain't no better about not having business. Business Building Bureau. That's what we got to change. Is FBA. We got to start creating our own avenue and creating our own lingo and our language until we start understanding the meaning of where we're going. We can never rewrite this shit because everything is about what they wrote. They wrote with the pen, and they start writing with the pen. That's their narrative, is to control the narrative. Control the narrative that always is business. It's a need for something. All these Latinos come across the border, and they're doing that because they took all the trades out of high school. They need people to be the builders now, electricians, the carpenters, the masons, we can no longer come out of high school doing that, but they're damn sure sucker punch your child with law. They never leave with law. They want you to learn with law. It's completely one-sided. And this is what we wage war on, is what controls us, not what knows us. The whole world knows us. So now we got their attention. It is about what controlling who knows. Like I said, no one is half the battle, man. I'm going to land with that.
All right, brother. I am Spirit, brother. I completely agree with what you're talking about. I'ma just need you to make sure that you are here tomorrow and into the next year to fight with us strong brothers, because we need all of our strong brothers in the mix. And I'm gonna need you to go ahead and make sure you get them couple 9 volts and put them in that fire alarm so you guys are safe and protected over this good wintry mix, because this is the time where we have to turn up the heat. Some people might be firing up them fireplaces, and we can't have them bad smoke detectors in the house.
Man, listen here, my man. Guess what? That's a slap in the face of someone that doesn't have that. Until we can offer and show change, we can never send them the bill, send them the the tab. And that's what we got to do. Be better at controlling the chaos, because they're experts. We got to start taking pages out of their book because it worked for them. It shouldn't be no problem for us, right? And the challenge is to get the job done without finances, showing that greed is greater than a good deed is greater than your dollar. If you got to pay someone to save someone, that's not the job for him to have. I want someone that's unconditional about their love for the right thing. You know what I'm saying? We really need to wage war with ourselves and our own government. This where, by law, we got to control law. We got to practice law, because that's what controls us. See, I'm being honest with you, bro. And you talking to a man that has been through a different kind of fight with the justice system about doing the right thing. I'm talking about being a petitioner back in 2013, seeking for my child, not knowing my daughter was born by a married woman. There was no laws to protect me from what was already established. So that's something they'll smoke signal about how they practice the law, you know? And we hold them accountable by every father that's on child support that has not been proven a paternity. This is the fight we need to have. Because until we fix our house, we will never have a home. You heard at the house, but you heal at home. That's why they say ain't no place like home. We got to invent a home. We got to invent a foundation. And guess what? Our foundation, it cannot be complacent because everybody in the world knows who the fuck we are because of our skin tone. We got something they can't buy, they can't pay for. They weren't blessed by the divine. We are the first people to walk this earth. We are a special race of people. We got to remember that. You know? Fuck the danger. That's dangerous. The danger development is dictated. We got to get rid of that. If they're in the business and paying for problems, guess what? We need to be the middleman. We no longer need to sell drugs to our community. No, we need to take what the hell we pay for straight to the police department and find out who the hell buying that shit for them. That's making all the getting them 3 times richer than what the hell you caught me with. That just doesn't make sense to me.
I totally agree with you, brother. And I wasn't trying to disparage you. I'm just saying put a battery in that fire alarm that's continuously going off behind you, brother. But
hey, man, you know what I'm saying, man. Safety has a sound, man. I damn sure ain't gonna burn up.
Good. Real quick, let me do something real quick. I need to share some information that has just came to me real quick about our brother Ozone Othel Wallace. Let me get this real quick.
Is he working for the state? Is he a government official?
Othel Wallace is not a government official. He's actually been in my position co-host, so months for something that would be called, or in other terms, just simply deemed as self-defense. But because it was against a white man, so I was over-prosecuted, been all throughout the whole thing. So trust me, brother, I know all about that. I just don't go over-stress it because that's an individual personal situation. But all is documented. I do want to stress, though, is that we already here are very aware that we are dealing with them at hand because we've been combating it to this year. People come into the great conversation. I understand a lot of these spaces might be new to folks, but y'all understand. There's who've been already holding it.
I agree. Division is the mission. I definitely agree, because as long as they can control your view, you can't be you. But they can never be allowed to control your vision. The vision is the mission. You feel me? You know, we got the page, the same shit that gave us problems.
Yes, sir.
You know, at the end of the day, we couldn't even get it off the muscle ourselves without them interfering.
You know what I'm saying? We want to keep control of this space, just to stay on topic.
I understand, man. I am spirit, and I have spoken, and a happy New Year coming from New Year, baby, and it is Capricorn.
Salute to you, my brother. You got that New Orleans accent. Shout out to everybody down there in the 504 and 318.
New Orleans. Are you serious? That was insult, bro. I mean, you know, no bad terms about that. I'm a real live Florida boy. I'm a Florida bred gator. Middle finger to the haters, bro. Yes, sir. We go to get you down here in Florida too, man. Very heavy with a little bit of Seminole.
Okay, I was like, I'm picking up the voice. I got you, bro. Thank you, brother.
Hey, man, listen, FBA, lead the way, man. You know, walk in the spirit, speak the truth, and that's what God told you to do. So, hey, whoever ain't with you, shit, fuck them too. FBA, lead the way.
Shout out to you, my brother, and shout out to you and the family, man, and have a blessed New Year. And you know, hey, man, we coming into 2023 stomping, man, on the empowerment agenda, and they've been feeling us. They know what time it is, and it's time to cut that check. And so we're not taking the fake Martin Luther King, I have a dream speech. We are adopting the Martin Luther King, we are coming to get our check moniker, and that is how we're going forward. Back to you, brother.
Hey, what we said the other day, family, is Martin Luther King had a dream that we was coming to get our check, and we gonna make that dream become a reality. See, we done updated the game on that one. Big facts. To salute what our brother was just saying, man, I want to ask you, Brother Afro, because we were in a space sometime in this summer, man. It was like in July or something. Do you remember when that guy called in, Afro, and he was like telling us that we was doing God's work, and he was like, man, I'm here to tell y'all keep doing everything. He was an older gentleman. He was like, everything y'all doing is good. Everything y'all doing is pure. Don't let nobody knock y'all off y'all pivot. Y'all stay focused. Y'all doing God's work, whether you know it or not, and you keep raising up these black families. You remember that, brother?
I do remember that. That gave me motivation. That inspired me to keep doing what I'm doing. What he said is he pretty much admitted that he kind of lost hope. He felt like he was the only one. He felt like we was never gonna make it till he found us. So he saw what we were doing and the progress that we were making. The progress that we made and the progress that we're making and the consistency in our work and the authenticity. Sorry, I'm tongue twisted. But all of what we're doing, that's given him inspiration. And in return, he repaid that with inspiring us. He repaid that by going into our space and thanking us and giving us motivation and telling us how great of a job that we're doing and how we're the hope for the future. I get told that every so often, and I don't like try to brag about it, like, look at how much people love me, but that actually does make me feel like I can't stop. Like, this is my path. This is my mission in life. I have to do this. I can't just say, oh, you know what, I'm done. I'm just going to live a normal life now. I'm too deep. I'm too far into this now to give up. There's too many people who I feel like rely on this information. There are too many people who I feel like benefit off of this information for me to say I'm done with this. I'm not gonna lie. It gets stressful. I want y'all to understand it gets stressful. First off, coming up with content to say on the on the weekly basis, that is not an easy thing to do. I know it feels like there's always something going on. It is not an easy thing to do. Then to organize it, to broadcast it, to make sure all your equipment's going right, because you know YouTube, your Wi-Fi don't work sometimes, and then your microphone don't work another time, and your cameras, it's always something going on. And then you put 110% of effort into it, and then your video kind of doesn't do so well, and the last couple of videos ain't doing so well, and you think to yourself, like, man, I hope I ain't fell off. Like, people ain't just watching my shit no more. Like, what's going on? But you can't let that stop you. You cannot let that even budge you. You got to keep doing it. Every single week, you got to give 110% every single week. Even if 1 week you feel like you've fallen off, and the next week you feel like, man, that was a terrible month. You know what I'm saying? I got to get back on my feet. And you got to, because you've been like suppressed, and you got to really break through that algorithm. You got to really break through that barrier, that anchor that's holding you back down. And you have to do that in order for you to succeed, because you realize it's not just about you. And I say this about myself. It's not just about me. It's not about you or you or you or any individual. This is about the future of black society as a whole. This is about your kids, my kids, her kids, his kids, and their grandkids and their grandkids. This is what we're doing this for. So yeah, we might be tired. Yeah, we might feel like, man, what's going on? People ain't feeling me no more. But you still have to get up, and you still have to make it work. You still have to perform. And so with that being said, Black Alpha, I salute you. Beatzilla, Kid Graffiti. I know they mess with Jason Black's channel all the time. Tariq Nasheed, Professor Black Truth. All of these people who get up and they still do it. Listen, I could be here all night long just giving you a whole long list of names. Our brother Torian Rain, he's on the YouTube right now. I can give you a long list of names. I'm not going to have to do that because you guys know. Y'all know who the real ones are. Real recognizes real. So I want to thank you guys for recognizing who is real. With that, I land.
Please check the Jumbotron, family. That's the news for Ozone. I just put in into the Jumbotron that his court date has been moved to July 31st. So if you don't understand, that kind of says to me that the courts or the DA is feeling that they have a weak case. So to move his case, that's 7 months out now. So we have enough time to kind of galvanize around that situation as well. So just putting that word out there so y'all can check the Jumbotron and stay abreast of our brother Ozone's case. Again, shout out to Afro Elite and JoJo and ZZ and everybody that's been down with that. My sister, straight up no chaser with the queen. Everybody that's been holding down the Ozone family. Shout out to y'all.
Big facts, man. We'll get to the hands, and I know we're going to wrap it up because my brother Zilla's going to be going live here very soon. So I want to wrap this space up, in the next 30 or so. But, man, salute to everybody. It feels like this space, right? I want to have this space, be honest with you, because I just wanted to, it's Friday night, it's towards the end of the year, and I didn't want to just end it and not talk to nobody. You feel me? And just go into the year quietly. I needed that one more tap in with the family because that is really what it's all about. It's about tapping in with the family. And I also want to say this is, one time, for everybody who's locked up right now, who's been, a victim of white supremacy, who's in these prisons. One time for, like my brother Sage was saying, the folks who came into the year and did not make it out the year. One time for everybody who's going to go into the year with a clear mind, clean bill of health. Everybody knows on my AlphaCast and my podcast, I always end it. The last 5 minutes, I always change up. I'm always very energetic and I'm going full speed, 100 miles an hour with the top drop back. But I make sure I slow it down and I speak to people, without the music blasting and everything. And I just want everybody to know that it's all about us. And no matter what we do, we stand together. So that's the same type of energy and time I'm on right now today with the whole family. There's been a lot of stories that have popped off this year. We've been through a lot. You see study after study that shows the mental anguish that foundational Black Americans have to go through since the beginning of this country. And the very fact that we do all that, we maintain who we are, and we stay strong and don't nobody break us, that lets the whole world know that we are exactly who we say we are, exceptional. So shout out to everybody. Continue to do what you do. There was a situation that happened this summer, the Buffalo Massacre, that the news just disappeared and they quit talking about it, but that lives with us and we're going to continue to do that. You had Mason, Tennessee, Jackson, Mississippi. I mean, we can go down the list, down the line. I think it was our brother Jalen Walker, excuse me if I got that incorrect, that's up in Ohio. There's so many stories that have happened that have made the major news, and the ones that haven't, there's so many people that have been victims of supremacy, as we all are. But the one thing that I notice about us is they didn't give us a crime bill, so we protect our goddamn selves. And our brothers and sisters was getting their self-defense game up. And y'all know what I'm talking about when I say getting your self-defense game up, getting some of them partners with you. You feel me? That's what it is. And if you look, we're people who are self-sufficient and we hold each other down. We don't worry about nobody else. We're not out here begging and pleading for nobody. If they don't want to protect us, we're going to protect each other. You feel me? They don't want to give us the money, we're going to go take the money. If they don't want us to stand side by side, we're going to make sure we stand side by side.
That's right. Bully up. Pick a fight. That's right, brother.
Hold on,
Bully
brother.
up. Pick a fight.
Yeah, there you go, brother. Hold on. I'm on my Jerry Springer final thought, brother. Hold up. As I was saying, one thing that we've been doing is we've been standing together and we've been dismissing any misnomer about us, all that we hate each other and we can't get along, BS. We done disproved all of that. We're actually stronger this year than ever. I feel that we are more on code than ever before. I always say on my show, unbreakable, untouchable, unmatched, and stronger than ever. And I stand by that to the T. Quote me on that one because I know we are, because we live it every single day. So anything that they thrown at us, what have we done? We done rejected it, swatted that shit out the air, and then we threw something back 100 times harder. That's exactly how we get down. So the self-identification, the lineage, heritage, and culture is, A1, and we're doing everything that our ancestors wanted us to do. And if y'all notice, we've been riding for our ancestors, we've been riding for our unborns, and we've been riding for us right here in the present. I don't know how much more you can do in one day's work. So that shows you where we are. Brother Zilla, go ahead and take that, family.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. We've been doing the work, and this is what it's all about. And so with that being said, I want to hurry up and let my brothers up here that I seen your hands been sitting up here for a minute. I believe it is Andre and then Cool Breeze. If I have that in the wrong order, please forgive me. Shocker to my head, not my heart. And again, shout out to the brother JoJo, who has been on top of the Ozone case, making sure that we all stay abreast of what's happening. And if for those who are not aware of Ozone, that was our brother that was accosted by a cop doing an illegal, what they call it, proactive policing, and tried to accost our brother who is legally registered and legally, in my opinion, defended himself from a person who came out of nowhere in the middle of the night while this brother was already at his residence. So he's fighting for his freedom, also fighting for his life because they're trying to go for a death penalty case on this rogue cop that lost his life trying to illegally do something to this brother, Othel Wallace. So again, shout out to y'all who has been holding us down, keeping this story in the forefront, and we ain't letting up off the gas. So with that being said, Andre, it's on you, brother.
Good looking out. Thank you, Bzilla. Thanks to the room. Shout out to the Black family on this new year, almost new year coming up. I heard some really powerful stuff. I Am Spirit said some really, really powerful stuff that I agree with. And Afro Elite actually said something in the beginning. I don't know if you guys remember. He was saying about, he used the example of King and X, Malcolm X, to show the importance of debate and disagreement in the elevation of our consciousness and our ideas, right? And I think, when we're talking about reparations, I think I'm just so inspired by the family, the Black family, because I see all of the effort being put into reparations, and I know that if we put our minds to other things, we would be just as successful. We see that in all of our history. But speaking of history, I Am Spirit, he brought up a lot of great things and talking about, when you break the chains of those, of the things that are controlling you, then you can develop. He mentioned some keywords like develop and, evolve and all of that stuff. I studied development economics in grad school, and I could say, when we talk about reparations, this is an economic policy, and in a lot of these rooms and a lot of these spaces, a lot of these Black media platforms, we got to be able to channel what actually made Martin Luther King and Malcolm so powerful. And it was the fact that they were able to disagree on the manner in which the Black community should approach the economic realities that they were facing. This is the long and short of it, guys. It's the one thing that I'm seeing as, my perspective being shaped the way it has been with economics. I think, it's not something we should overlook, right? And it's not something that our greatest leaders overlooked. It's something that was directly linked to any sort of success or development we had, was the fact that we were able to grapple with the economic contending, arguments and that were being made. And so when we talk about King, he was shot and murdered in 1968, I believe, at a labor union organization rally. He was speaking and organizing on behalf of workers. And I put something up in the chat. It shows the labor statistics. Black Americans, non-foreign born, I believe it's 60% of them are in the workforce. So we have a lot of us in the labor force, and it's something that they were wise enough to link to our development, our progression. When we talk about the United States as a global power, it was an empire for a long time, but that time of power, of unmatched power, is declining, right? The U.S. power is declining economically, and it's, interestingly enough, China is the one that is poised to, challenge, be the main challenger economically. We already see how they're undermining the United States in many ways, and is causing a lot of causing rifts in the West in general, meaning the U.S. and its allies. So economics is of utmost paramount importance in the Black community, and if we can have discussions about socialism, that's right, and capitalism as the reality, right? If Black people want to talk about woke, and I know they use that term against us, if we want to be awake, we have to realize that these are the matters that are pressing most We have to be able, that's how I would check the pulse of somebody in terms of economics. Do you understand that we have economic theories that promote capitalism, and likewise for that of its main critic, which is the tradition of socialism, and that we as a Black American community, our entire lineage, so long as the United States has been around, has been involved and engaged with that discussion until now. If we can't get involved with that and get our biggest leaders to say, hey guys, what do we think about these labor unions? What do we think about the way we organize the goods and services, the organization of them and the distribution, right? The ownership and the control of not only in our community, in the community, in the country in which that community sits in. How do we want to be a part of that discussion? If we're not in that, we're handicapped as a people who sorely need to have the tools of empowerment that they've been deprived of. We the thing he said was right, is we have to get the mental control right, and that way we'll be that much closer to our empowerment. China, they've become the economic presence that they are now because they wrested the shackles of control. And at the time, it was the Navy, right? The Qing dynasty, Qing, they were, being invaded by all of the corners of the earth, and the 8 nations, which are now, later known as the Allies, the Allied forces, which is, the German Empire, the Austro-Hungary Empire, the British Empire, French, all of these. They invaded China, and they had 100 years of humiliation, they called it. And China later on, they amended it and said, it was 120 years, starting with the Boxer Rebellion, when, the Qing dynasty, they tried to fight back, but they were disorganized, anytime you have rebellions and civil stuff going on, they were not organized, but they got organized over that 120 years. The trade and the Navy, all of the aspects of their failures, as the world turns and the world evolved, the different opportunities presented itself as the economic paradigm and the economic system changed, right? And as capitalism evolved, China found ways to enter back into trade, which is the main thing in capitalism, is selling stuff, right? And getting profit. So I'm gonna wrap it up with that. I know I don't want to give a long history lesson, but the point is that we want to learn from China.
No, I wanted you to get to because I know you have a point. I just wanted you to wrap it up in 20 seconds because I know you got the meat of it. So go ahead, get to it.
Yes. So if you want to take anything away from that, we got to look around us. Notice how they demonize that term woke. Anybody who's a part of this Black American family, knows that they're trying to discourage us from seeing the world as it is. And if we can do that, we will understand the war going on right now, which is in the economy. That's what our fight has always been. You see Martin Luther King, see what he actually said. He's talking about the economy. Malcolm X, a self-professed socialist. You understand? This is a fight that you can't be outside of. You can't dance around it like some of us with the platforms, some of us in the community, unfortunately, have been taught to, like the rest of the country. The United States has been taught with the Red Scare after the Cold War and after World War II to say capitalism is the only way forward, and we need people to think and use our innovative ways like we do when we want something to figure out ways of economic empowerment and collective economics, like Claude Anderson taught us, which is another way.
Oh, my fault. My bad. That was on accident. I know you was wrapping it up though. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's all I wanted to say is we got to look at the economy, look at the current events or what's going on around us. It's an economic policy. Reparations is something that the federal government is going to have to decide on what to do. That's not in line from a socialist perspective analysis. Is not in line with the profit motive, right? And when Japanese internment, they got their reparations is directly linked to the prime minister at the time making the case for Reagan that it was economically in both of their interests, that they would both profit from a closer trade when the dollar was plummeting, after the shocks, the horrible shocks of capitalism's failures, as it does every 4 to 7 years, right? So,
yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I mean, you broke that down, but we got to get to the end. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for that.
Hey, Cool Breeze, it's on you, brother.
I appreciate it, fam. What's going on, Black Alpha, brother Afro Elite, brother Beatzilla, brother Sage, and shout out to our lovely sister D Tubman. A lot of love for you always. You know what I'm saying? And as we speak into going into 2023, brother Black Alpha, you guys bring up a really good point. Protection, right? And as we build, because I want to see our people win. Because we have to win by any means necessary, and if we can't protect our people, then you're waiting. We're just waiting for someone to come in and destroy it. So one of the things that I have done, I have started an executive protection company to protect Black business owners, to protect Black neighborhoods, to protect Black estate, and stuff like that. So. As we roll into these things, because I want to see our people win. In order for us to win, we have to be able to protect. Because we have to put protection mechanisms in play. We have to protect each other legally. We have to protect each other politically. And we have to protect each other physically. And we have to protect our economics. So, with that said, I started the company Executive Protection. Basically, to sum it up, what Executive Protection is, what an Executive Protection company can do, is basically a private law enforcement company. My company can do the same thing as a law enforcement agency does. So, so there's a lot of things that I did, because I can train our people into Executive Protection. I'm building a training facility. As I'm building, everything I'm doing right now is in the beginning phases. But as I got to land so where I can, build a training facility where I can certify our people and protect Black business owners or whatnot. So, these are some of the things that we need to protect our people in order to see our people win. And with that, I yield the mic.
Shout out to you, brother. And I appreciate that. And just real quick, just to give some clarity, reparations is taking care of a huge economic problem within the Black community. So understanding the war that has been waged on the Black community over centuries now, we as a collective have kind of figured out that, yes, it definitely has something to do with economics. That is basically the underlining premise of how reparations is actually formatted and formed in the first place, because we have to address the harm done, and then you have to actually audit the ways of harm done. And if a country has made themselves a financial superpower off of free labor from slave labor, of course, then automatically the conversation of reparations becomes economic, which in turn also defines you being in the midst of not just a anti-black war, but also a anti-black economic war. So we want to make sure that we clarify those things very clearly, because they didn't just pop out of nowhere. It wasn't a legislation that happened in the 70s or happened in the 80s. No, it happened before 1776. So we always have to enter in every conversation with that premise, because if we start doing that, it starts mucking up the reparations conversation, because, of course, reparations is economics. It's a repair of us being deprived of our place in the economic competitive market. So we're very clear about that. We're just not going to take it up to and bump the timeline up to the 80s, because that, truth be told, is the doorway to letting other groups into our claims. Not saying that anybody was doing that, but I just want to clarify that that's where the danger lies of doing so. So let's just keep this claim historic and move forward from there. Back to you, my brother.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm still laughing. Goddamn. Hey, you supposed to land the plane, not crash the damn plane. Afro with the save, brother. Thank you. Hey, matter of fact, hey, come back to me. Come back to me, man.
Listen, look, I gave him a hint. I tried to give him a hint.
Man, pardon my interruption, man, but it seems to get juicy at the end. I don't know why everybody's drip is always hidden when it's time to divide ourselves. For some reason, we're going at this the wrong way. We need to be starting at the ending instead of the beginning, because everybody voices their opinion after they have been driven and developed.
Go ahead, continue, Afro.
Okay, all right. I'm going to say, listen, when we said that we were trying to wrap this space up, we are trying to, kind of close this space gracefully. And that's one of the things. When you guys host programs and stuff like that, for the ones who don't know, when you host a program, you have to open up well and you have to end well, too. You don't want to rush off. You want things to kind of ease off gracefully, where everybody can get their last few words in and we can all say goodbye and then close the space. That doesn't happen when we're trying to close the space and we got 10 minutes and one person's talking for 7 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So, to be honest, it does become a little bit rude. Not that anybody intends to do that, but it does become a little bit rude, and you are kind of approaching on other people's space when you do that. Now, with our brother B-Dilla said something, I said something, and to be honest, if he was really spitting game, I probably would have let, but I didn't even know what he was talking about. I'm looking at my phone. I'm trying to figure out what's this about. I'm like, okay. And I gave him the biggest hint I could. And then I saw okay, he's just not going to get it. He's not going to get it. And he don't intend to land his plane, so I'm going to have to just land it for him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. We talk about socialism. Ain't nobody talking about some damn socialism and all that. That's one thing somebody said something about that. So, God bless him.
I'm freaking done, man.
Hey, all right, hey, man. Boy, that's funny. Hey, Afro, that was like in the movies when the plane is crashing and shit and the pilot done passed out and then somebody throw the pilot out the way and then they take the goddamn handle. That's what that was, brother. Oh, Kid Gravity. Hey, kid on the stage, man. Take this, man. I got to keep laughing.
I was wondering, can I spend about 10 minutes on each decade of the metaphysical parts of socio-reparations? So if I add it all up, it'd be about 63 minutes. Y'all about to finish at 5. Am I loud?
Hey, brother, maybe next time. I will say one thing, though.
Listen,
that's one thing for 2023 we don't continue
If I buy you a deep dish, would that allow me about 55 minutes?
40. I can only give you 40.
But it take y'all 6 hours to get y'all pizza when you order it.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, it depends. I mean, it is Friday night. A lot of people ordering pizza, so I don't know.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to get you ahead of the New Year's Eve orders tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody like to eat pizza in Chicago for New Year's Eve because I guess that's like a tradition. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. So I guess that is like a tradition.
Right.
But so if you hook me up, I might be able.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Y'all get the pizza and then y'all tell the Uber driver to go down to Harold's to pick up y'all chicken on the way to your spot. I'm just saying.
Hey, I mean, you know how to bribe somebody.
I ain't gonna
let him get some money.
I ain't gonna do all that. I gotta go.
Got a dangerous man.
I gotta go back and cook for Atlanta people. So I just want to say, man, appreciate y'all, man. I've been listening ever since I'm on the clock. So do y'all thing, and he's obviously here. But 2023, yeah, we got 12 months to change the world. So I'm gonna be there fighting with y'all. So y'all continue to do your thing, and let me get back so white people getting upset.
Shout out to you, Kid Gravity. You out there on the plantation, so you gotta duck behind that tree when you can, man. Get a good break. But shout out to you, brother, for even tapping in and while being on the plantation. Gotta sneak in the corner to whisper a few comments. But man, always a pleasure, brother. And shout out to you, man, and everything that you've been doing. And it was a cool thing to do our live with you the other day too. So man, this end of year has been absolutely a beast. So all the spaces, the positive spaces and all the different lives that we have done have been super dope. Again, shout out to my brother Toyin Rain right now doing his live. I'm watching it on TV as we are doing this space, and then I'll be getting ready for my year-end live 6:30 tonight. But I felt that this was really necessary for us to do. My brother Black Alpha was like, yo, let's just get one more in before the end of the year. And, I'm glad we did, because I hope y'all understand, man. And me and this brother, like, for me, Black Alpha and Afro and Kid Gravity, we could literally have these conversations between ourselves off script, and none of y'all would never hear what we got to say. But truth be told, there's so much just that comes out in just conversation with us. We have to share it with y'all. So I hope that it's well received. I believe it's well received by the numbers that we have seen recently. So thank everybody that's been supporting everything that we've been doing. My brother Black Alpha Network, Afro Elite, myself, me, and Black Alpha Network, of course, are the certified truth. So if you've been fooling with us for a minute, thank everybody who has been supporting. And man, we just keeping it rolling, keeping it positive. And we about this reparations, these tangibles, the FBA Freedmen Excellence Movement. And that is what we represent to the fullest, family. So I can't thank y'all enough. Let's go into this New Year's, like the Boondocks say, stomping them in the nuts.
Yes, indeed, man. I'll say my last piece, man, and then I'll have our brother Afro Elite going to close out, man. Hey, yeah, I wanted to do this, man, because there's no possible way that we was going to go into the new year, and the last time I spoke to y'all was on, like, Tuesday. Nah, that ain't good enough. I like to talk anyway, so I was like, fuck that. Let's go. So it's been a pleasure, man, and an honor, but not just, this space. I'm talking about the whole year. I learned so much. I tell people all the time, man, this FBA family tree, it means everything to me. You feel me? I don't even know where I'd be right now, to be honest with you, if it wasn't for this movement. Personal things I deal with, we all deal with, our own personal issues, but I'm pretty sure we can all say that, putting our minds to the movement and focusing on this movement gives us a lot of life and a lot of energy. And I always tell people, if you don't do the ups and downs, the range of emotions, then you ain't really invested. So we all have days where we tired, days where we pissed off, days where we're inspired, days where we're positive, days where we're just pushing. And if you don't go through that range of emotions, then you ain't really in it. So it's a good thing to go through the emotions. That means that you're invested, and we're all invested. And as long as we stay investment, we stay true, we're always going to get everything that we wish to accomplish. And if you look right now, that's exactly what we're doing. People tell me all the time, because I get so many DMs. I know my brothers do as well. And I got to tell this to everybody. The DMs that I get in the words of encouragement, it might be 3 a.m. and somebody might say, hey, I had a brother, matter of fact, tell me, he said his daddy passed. And he said, listening to my show gives him a lot of strength. Another lady told me that she had to bury her husband, and listening to my show gave her a lot of strength. A brother met me at the rally and said he was tearing up because he was like, his day would be in a bad space, and then he'll listen to me, and then, you know, it'll be on a positive effort. And I remember those things, and those things mean a lot to me, and that's what fuels me, as well as all of us, as well as our ancestors, you know, the strength that they give us, man. So I want everybody to stay safe for the rest of this year, the few hours that is left, and I want everybody to go into the next year, you know, strong, healthy, and positive. But not just you. I'm talking about you and everybody you love, your loved ones, your whole family, everybody that you care about. I wish a clean bill of health to everybody, everyone who's associated with you, anybody who has your heart. I want them to feel the same type of energy and blessings that you receive. So with that said, man, this is Black Alpha Network, man. I'm going to send y'all the biggest salute, and I got to speak on behalf of Queen Alpha. She's sending you guys a certified salute as well. So from Black Alpha 6 and Queen Alpha, man, we giving y'all nothing but love. Salute to my 2 brothers right here. I love y'all. Everybody else in the space, man, y'all stay safe. Y'all stay good. And remember, black is beautiful, and beautiful is always FBA Black. Afro, send us home, brother.
Brother, I want to thank you for everything that you do, for the people, for the movement, for everything. I want to thank everybody in this space for what they do. There's been, throughout this year, I don't know why I can't send emojis up. I've been trying to press the button, and it's not working no more, so, you know, Twitter's tripping. But throughout this year, we've had a lot of ups and downs. We've had inflation go up, skyrocket, sometimes, some ways, more than people have ever seen in their entire lives. We've had people lose family members. We've had terrible crises happen to us this year. We've had ups and downs. We've had things that we tried to get off the ground that we weren't able to get off the ground. We've been embarrassed. Some of us have. A lot of us have been deplatformed and lost our platform and had to deal with a whole bunch of nonsense. But overall, we came out on top of all of that. Everybody in this room should be grateful for the fact that you guys have made it to this point. Everybody who makes it to 2023 should be grateful for the fact that we've made it to this point, because to be totally honest with you, there's a lot of people who did not make it this far. There was a lot of people this year, and my heart goes out to them. There's a lot of people this year. This year was their last year, and they're not going to see 2023. And we are blessed to see 2023, not just to see it, but to live 2023 knowing that we're going into 2023 together as a family, as a group, and moving for the next generation. We're moving powerful. We're more powerful. We're better, smarter, healthier. You know, we have stronger relationships than we did in 2022. So despite all of the losses that we might have taken, despite all of the illnesses that we might have taken, despite all of that stuff, I want us to think positively about the year. And I want us to think positively about the next year. Because I'm going to warn you guys right now, there's going to be a lot of bumps and bruises coming in 2023. I can promise that to you right now. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs. There's going to be a lot of hurt feelings. There's going to be a lot of bad days. But with that being said, there's going to be better days. There's going to be more good days than there are bad days. And I'm saying that, and I know that because I believe that this year was that. And I believe that if this year was that, the next year will be better because we will make it that way. We have the power to make it that way because we're foundational Black Americans. We're B1. We're on code. And this is what we do. This is what our history is. This is what our ancestors did. And this is what we're doing right now. And one day, when we speak about our ancestors and how we put them on a pedestal and how we raise them with high self-esteem and how we look to them for motivation and encouragement, that's going to be the same way people look at us. That's going to be the same way people look at you. And you need to tell yourself that when you look into the mirror. With that being said, brothers and sisters, y'all need to follow these brothers on their YouTube platforms. You guys can go click their name, click their face, their icons in there's in their bio, either in their pinned tweet or in their bio or somewhere. and subscribe. A lot of people say they're going to do it. They don't do it. Okay, we got a lot of people in this room. Everybody in this room needs to be subscribed to them. Y'all might as well subscribe to me. You know what I mean? Plug, shameless plug. But y'all might as well. And we can all go in 2023 together as a family. All of this nonsense that we had this year, we're leaving that behind. We're not carrying that with us going into the next year. With that being said, salute to you, Breathe One brothers and sisters. I love y'all.
FBA, Black First, everybody. Salute to the family. Love y'all.
Black First.